see Greg Sachs pull up on the inside. He can't do that legally. I don't know what NASCAR is going to say about it, but until there's lapping has started, you can't make it a double file restart. Here comes Richard Petty on the inside. Maybe NASCAR just going to shrug their shoulders on this one.
Green flag is out again.
Here's Michael back on the outside again. It looks like a lot of cars are trying the outside lane today.
Yeah, Morgan Shepherd tried over there in turn 2 a little bit ago, and he got into the wall a little bit, but he stayed out there. Apparently didn't hurt the set go forward, but yeah, they're getting a good ride over there. Looks like coming off of turn 2 in particular.
Michael, this isn't losing much. He's not gaining a whole lot, but he's staying alongside of Brett Bodine.
Now he has taken the position. They're going to call him behind.
Michael Waltrip moving to 4th. Brett Bodine back to 5th. The battle for 3rd and 4th position.
Ooh, Michael got on the curve coming off the second corner and almost spun the car.
And Brett Bodine passes him, and Ricky Rudd moves alongside.
He says, son of a gun, I got to do that again now.
More on Michael Waltrip from John Kernan.
Michael feels he's got a really good chance today, even though they had somewhat of a setback yesterday morning in practice, guys. The harmonic balancer exploded in the early morning hour practice, and they cut an oil line. At first, they thought it was a blown engine. Well, it wasn't. They still had to change engines yesterday morning, and it cost them a whole lot of track time. But yesterday afternoon, they felt that they really had the car dialed in, and Michael was ready to run for his first Winston Cup win. He hoped it would come right here at Martinsville.
Many drivers have registered their first wins here at Martinsville, including Morgan Shepherd in car number 21. He hit the wall a little bit earlier in the backstretch, but man, he's moving now.
Up on the outside. He passed Mark Martin the last time around. Here he passes Alan Kowicki up on the outside. He's brave. He don't mind going up there now. Here, Mark Martin, he's going to try that, but he couldn't quite make it up there.
That's Alan Kowicki now just ahead of Mark Martin as you see the shot from the roof cam. And the telemetry. Now watch the RPMs. They went up to what, about 8,300 that time?
Let's see, we're down to 63 miles per hour. That's the slowest we saw the car now. Accelerating up to 8,600 we saw that time.
That's a lot of RPMs, but if you're going to turn that many RPMs, here at Martinsville is the place to do it. Put a low gear in it, not only to accelerate off the turn, you don't turn those RPMs for a very long period of time.
Michael Waltrip spins and slides into the wall, hitting the wall with the back end of the car. So Michael Waltrip's efforts working the high groove was not paid off.
Is that water coming from underneath the car? Did he have? It looks like he has an engine or oil.
Yeah,
some kind of fluid out of that car.
Sure does.
And here Sachs is trying to get a lap back,
And he's going to do it.
and Michael's car is stalled right there. Good heady piece of driving by Greg Sachs in that Kellogg's car.
It's the lap back that he lost earlier after spinning down in turn number 2. And John Kernan has an update on Michael Waltrip.
Well, I'm standing here with Bill Engel, the crew chief for Michael. What seems to be the problem?
Well, Michael said something happened to the engine. Something broke off the engine. Undoubtedly, it's lost all the water and oil. He said, roll down here and we'll take a look at it.
Well, that's the second day in a row that they're going to have to check the engines. As we told you yesterday in practice, they had to change engines after a harmonic balancer exploded. So a very tough break for Michael Waltrip, who was looking really good.
Yeah, he sure was, but the Pennzoil Pontiac is now behind pit wall, and the hood goes up on the car as the crew tries to determine exactly what happened. That resulted in Michael spinning and bumping the wall in turn number 3. A lot of caution so far in the Haynes 500.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. Quaker State is tough. Tough on wear and tough on sludge. If you use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally they asked me because I'm tough. You don't think it's because they think I'm oily.
When Darrell Waltrip needs a part, he needs the right part, and he needs it fast.
And when you need parts, see the parts team at Western Auto. We've got top name brands and thousands of parts in stock. Right, guys?
Right, DW.
And we've got the right price, backed by our low price guarantee, right?
Right, DW. And while you're here, pick up a Delco Freedom 60 battery for just $44.99. Delco batteries. It's like buying time.
Western Auto, the official auto parts and service store of NASCAR. Right, guys?
Right, DW.
Under our fourth caution of the race at ESPN Speed World presentation of the Haynes 500, this is what happened in turn number 3. Watch Michael Waltrip's number 30 car slide to the outside wall.
Apparently something happened in the engine, put some oil and water underneath his rear wheels, Bob, and he spun it into the wall.
And now another view from the roof cam on Mark Martin's car.
Boy, that's a scary thought when you go and see all that smoke, because you really don't know if there's oil, water, something there that's going to cause you to spin, or you don't know which way the other car is going to go.
Michael Waltrip's car is behind the pit wall as they work on it. Meanwhile, King Richard Petty is on the racetrack after an early event incident that dropped him to the rear of the field, but he has 15 wins here at this racetrack, and 30 times has he finished in the top 5. There's another Winston Cup legend, however, that has never won here at this track. Here's today's Petty memory.
This Richard Petty memory is brought to you by the First Brand Corporation, makers of STP, Son of a Gun Protectant. Through the years, Richard Petty and Bobby Allison have produced many thrills for the crowds at Martinsville Speedway. While Richard won 15 times, Allison never achieved a victory during his career, usually finishing behind the king. Although at times, the Hueytown native came very close.
He had some kind of a hold on me at Martinsville. I never won there, and he won there lots and lots of times. And one day, I even came really close to winning there, driving relief for him, but it still didn't. But, you know, I had lots of good times with Richard Petty, and he's been really great for the sport.
If you don't like the looks of your car, shoot it with Son of a Gun from STP. Shoot the dash, seats, tires, and roof. Son of a Gun protectant. Man, what a difference.
He's Stock Car Racing's all-time winner. He's Stock Car Racing's all-time most popular driver. He's the king, Richard Petty. In this new ESPN home video, The Ride of a Lifetime, Richard Petty and STP, you'll have the chance to come along with me, Dr. Jerry Punch, for a personal visit to Richard's home, and we'll show you classic video footage of Richard's greatest moments. To get your copy, call 1-800-342-3400.
There's the king, and let us qualify something just slightly now. No member of the Allison family has ever won a NASCAR Winston Cup race at this track. However, both Bobby and Donnie have won in modified competition. Still under caution here at Martinsville. We'll take a quick break and be back with the resumption of the Haynes 500 in just a moment.
I want you to take the 99-minute challenge. At Penny Green, we'll be at your home within 99 minutes with a complete evaluation and estimate of your lawn guaranteed. Penny Green is the fastest, most efficient lawn care company in your area with the most complete and comprehensive granular fertilizer package available in the industry. Still unsure? Well, if you're tired of waiting around for your current lawn care company, then challenge us. Call Penny Green and compare. And within 99 minutes, you'll find out why Penny Green's the fastest. The fastest way to improve your lawn.
Army and Navy store in Delran. Ricky's has everything. For fishing, for camping, and for, well, you know, for hiking. So remember, if you're going to do it outside, stop by Ricky's Army and Navy store, conveniently located on the way to the river in Delran.
ESPN's America's Cup 92. Dennis Conner launched a surprising comeback, but Bill Koch has his sights set on defending the cup. Plus the Battle of the Red Boat, New Zealand against Italy for the right to be called the Challenger. The America's Cup, the Defender, and the Challenger finals tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern, live on ESPN.
Dale Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip, Derek Cope, Brett Bodine, and Ricky Rudd running 1 through 5 after 31 laps of this 500-lap Haynes 500, and the green flag is just about to wave again, sending the drivers back to competition. The crowd on its feet as the green flag waves. Here we go again.
Obviously, Morgan Shepard, 7th in line. I'll tell you, he's been impressive. We talked about him there a little bit ago, running up on that outside. Look at him go by Rusty Wallace on the outside. That moves him to 6th place. He has come from 20th.
And it's all the way up to 6th. And what have we had? 10, 15 laps of green flag racing. So Morgan Shepard is definitely the man on the march.
This is Mark Martin's roof cam. There's Morgan working the Sitco Ford, car number 21. We mentioned that he picked up his first Winston Cup victory here at Martinsville. That happened 11 years ago.
And Richard Petty spins right in front of Brett Bodine, but he goes high. Now he's coming back down. I think everybody's going to get slowed down, though, and miss him.
Ken Schrader had to take a high road to get around the car of Richard Petty, but everyone does indeed get by okay. Well, a lot of cautions last night on ESPN during the modified race, and now we're having the same thing here today.
No caution this time, though. NASCAR decided not to wave the caution flag, and we're back still racing under the green flag conditions.
Richard just made the 360s once he got out of the way of traffic. And he was clear, and the track was clear, so they kept racing.
Gary Cope is staying right up with second place Darrell Waltrip. In fact, Cope is looking to take over second place, and Jerry Punch has more.
Exactly, Bob. What a difference a year makes for Bob Whitcomb's Cheerleader Chevrolet team. You remember last year, Derek Cope did not even make the field here and had to go home, was very upset. Not only did he make the field this year, he qualified 4th, is running 3rd and challenging for 2nd. And a lot of that goes to the crew. Barry Dotson, who signed on with this team a few races back with a 2-year contract. John Dotson, all the crew, a lot of them came from the Team 3 Racing. But the veteran crew chief, Barry Dotson, has been motivating Derek Cope, organizing his team, and they feel like they're in shape right now to win, possibly as early as today. Bob?
Cope with 2 Winston Cup wins, of course, but not in a long time, and Cope would love to win here today.
And both of those wins were on super speedways at Notre Delaware and, of course, the Daytona 500. 1990.
Napa Field summary showing you where your favorite driver is running at this particular moment. This is within the last lap. As the action on the track sees Dale Earnhardt putting a lap on Jimmy Means in car number 52. Cope has dropped back now a little bit from Darrell Waltrip. He was right on his back bumper a while ago, but now Cope has fallen back just a little bit and has Brett Bodine and Ricky Rudd on his tail. And Morgan Shepard is right there behind Rudd.
He continues to work. He's running in 6th position there right now.
It was one of the first Winston Cup races that I worked 11 years ago today here at this racetrack where Morgan Shepard took home the victory.
Here he goes up on the outside of Rudd, trying to get on the outside. Can't make it that time. Here's on top of Martin Hart's cars. He goes by Jimmy Means down in turn 3. That's Alan Kowicki, the Hooters car, directly in front. Accelerate off the corner. Turn 1, heavy on the brakes. Then we see the car down to 63 miles per hour. Now he accelerates. 86, 90, 97, 108, 112, 114 miles per hour. From 73 to 114 miles per hour. On the brakes. We see him on the brakes for a long, long time. Now off.
Well, they've always said that Martinsville Speedway is basically 2 drag strips with 2 flat turns connecting them. And so that's the way it is. The turns back 12 degrees. And these long straightaways. So they really do accelerate like, not like a drag strip, not like Kenny Bernstein would do.
Here we see the 26 car, Brett Bodine, getting alongside Jerry Cope's car. This is for 3rd spot.
Kenny Bernstein's car being driven by Brett Bodine, and Derek Cope finds himself in a position that he may not want to be in on the outside.
His car is not going that well on the outside. Car is overtaking him and going away. Now we see Morgan Shepard going to try to get to the inside. He does.
Rusty Wallace is right behind Morgan, so he'll try to jump right in there as well.
There's definitely stringing cars back there. Cope, he's either got to make the outside line work. He's going back about 10 spots.
Nobody is going to let him in, that's for sure.
Well, while we see all this racing going on, Dale Earnhardt has just checked out on it.
Here comes Alan Kowicki around Cope. Next to do so is Mark Martin. Go down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. They're side by side, but Mark will get the advantage as they come off the corner, and now Ernie Irvin will come along.
And then there's Bill Elliott just waiting in the wings. He might be too far back, though. Yeah, Derek's going to get back in this time.
So he dropped from 3rd to what? 11th, I believe.
Lost 8 spots just because he got hung on the outside, could not get back. Now finally did get the inside. In practice yesterday afternoon, that 6 and 4 cars were the 2 fastest cars in practice. And here goes Ernie right by Mark Martin.
Ernie just took to the inside, headed down the back stretch, and got the position from Mark Martin. About 8,600 RPM there. Pretty consistent, though, as far as speed is concerned. He's varying from about 63 to that time it was 113. A while ago it was 114. Well, let's check and see how Jimmy Hensley is doing as we now see the Phillips 66 roof cam. Remember, he spun earlier in the race after starting this event up in 6th position.
He's now in 26th position, so he's only gained 4 or 5 spots since his spin.
And fellas, he's only about a quarter of a lap in front of Dale Earnhardt, who is catching up to him. Dale Earnhardt right now putting a lap on Dave Marcus, who had that good qualifying run. But Hensley looked back in his rearview mirror, and Earnhardt is about a straightaway behind him.
Up in front are Bobby Hamilton and Ted Musgrave.
There's a 3 car almost in the same straightaway with that group of cars.
Dave Marcus was so optimistic on the grid after his excellent qualifying position. However, he has made a pit stop and has lost a lap to the leader of the Haynes 500, Dale Earnhardt.
It is from Kodak. It delivers the highest resolution. Microfine grain. Superior image structure. For ultra-sharp detail. It is called Ektar. Ektar film by Kodak. The genius is in the details. Ektar film now comes in a new cartonless package in 25, 100, and 1,000 speeds.
Introducing Ford's newest car. It doesn't have a sticker price. There's no choice of colors. And it has to be driven 4 times the speed limit to be appreciated. The new Ford IndyCar. If you think our technology looks impressive here, just wait till you experience it down the road. Have you driven a Ford lately?
If only your tires could talk.
It's so tiring. He babies the car, then abuses me with messy vinyl cleaner. Hey, I'm rubber. No-touch tire care. Ooh, nice foam.
No-touch tire care. The first product to clean, shine, and protect tires in one easy step. No scrubbing, no dirty rags, no mess.
Yeah, clean and shiny. Oh, no. Bad doggy. Go away.
Treat your tires right with no-touch tire care.
ESPN brings you a new way to look at sports when you can't get to your TV. The ESPN Radio Network. Watch for us this weekend on the radio.
And yet another caution out at Martinsville as a spin down in turn number 2 involving 3 cars, Derek Cope, Dale Jarrett, and Davey Allison. We'll show you that in just a second. Let's stand by right now and see if those running up front choose to come in for a pit stop. And several do, including Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip and Brett Bodine. Here's Jerry Punch.
And the lead 2 Chevrolets will make their way down pit road. The first time the men behind the wall have a chance to strut their stuff here at Martinsville Speedway is the Goodrich Chevrolet and the Western Auto Chevy of Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip, respectively, should each get 4 tires. Earnhardt couldn't ask for a car to handle any better than he had the first few laps, and will change the tires. These are radial tires for the stagger, very consistent. No change or alteration as they had in the old Fire Supply days. Left side tires now going on Earnhardt's car. A little trouble with the funnel.
Waltrip Winston Chevrolet. Then they're going back around to the right side on the Earnhardt car. Apparently they had a jack problem initially on the right side. So now Earnhardt, a lot of costly time in the pits due to a jack failure. Let's check into the back pits. Earnhardt leads where John Curtin is standing. John.
Jerry, some good pit strategy by the Wood brothers. Sitting here on the backstretch, they elected to take right side tires only. They are already away. Jerry Labonte, meanwhile, who's been moving up through the field, pulls away. He has had a 4-tire change and added a full can of fuel.
Now we'll go back and show you why we had the caution and the pit stops.
Davey Allison on the outside of Jerry Coke, going down in turn 1. Lots of room. They go in the corner, all of a sudden, they just make slight contact around both those cars, and Dale Jarrett has no place to go. He spins the car around, and Allison is in the back pits.
Making a stop right now, and John Kernan, are you there?
Bob, they're changing 4 tires. Now, you said that Davey stayed out. We mentioned he is the points leader. He had not led yet, so he stayed out to lead a lap, get credit for those 5 bonus points. Then he came in and took on 4 tires, and now he is away. Jerry?
I want to clarify something on Dale Earnhardt's pit stop. We saw him go back around to the right side of Earnhardt's Goodrich Chevrolet with the jack again. Now, what they had done is they apparently had left the lug nut loose, and this crew, not wanting to leave any stone unturned, went back around to the right side. They dropped the jack so quick. In fact, that's what happens sometimes when you're too good, you're too fast. They dropped the jack and had already made their run to the left side and still had one lug nut that wasn't tight. So they went back around on the right side, jacked the car back up very deliberately, tightened the lug nuts once again, and let it go.
Let's clarify one situation. We'll go to break here in just a second, but Davey Allison is a lap down. He could not come back in the pits there early. John Kernan was on the backstretch and couldn't see that Earnhardt passed Davey before they got back to the start-finish line. He and Dale Jarrett both lost a lap on that encounter down there.
We'll go back to green soon, but in the meantime, another break as we bring you coverage of the Haynes 500 from Martinsville, Virginia.
I can't explain it. You're kind of in a limbo zone. Time's different, speed's different, everything works different. It sounds totally cosmic. It's out there somewhere.
Kyle Petty and Mellow Yellow. There's nothing mellow about him.
Hey, Mike, hand me my channel lock pliers.
Johnny, give me that plier over there with the blue handles. What kind of pliers is that? These are channel lock tone groove pliers. My dad uses them on his race car, too.
For the tough jobs and the small jobs, reach for Channel Lock, the handiest plier of them all.
Hey, guys, anybody seen the channel lock pliers?
Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock pliers. Look for this trademark.
When Darrell Waltrip needs tires, he needs the right tires, and he needs them fast.
And when you need tires, see the tire team at Western Auto. We've got major brands and over 26 tire lines to fit your car, van, or light truck. Right, Junior?
Right, DW.
And we got the right price, backed by our free ride guarantee. Right, Rusty?
Right, DW. When you buy tires from Western Auto, try them for 30 days or 1,000 miles. If you're not satisfied, they'll exchange them.
That's why I take our car to Western Auto. Right, Dad?
Wrong, DW.
Stevie takes your car to Western Auto.
This is where America gets together. Every weekend throughout America, there is great NASCAR racing.
I wouldn't be anywhere else.
63 laps are completed in our coverage of the Haynes 500 at Martinsville. About to go back to green flag racing now after our 5th caution. And the shot from the Pontiac pace car as it pulls off the racetrack. Here we go.
And Dave Mader is the leader. He didn't make a pit stop. Alan Kowicki would be in 2nd place. Morgan Shepherd with that good pit work there probably got him back out in 3rd place.
But Greg Sachs is in 2nd place. He again made up that lap a little bit ago. He did not pit on this caution flag, so he's in 2nd place. Kowicki, of all the cars that pitted, is out 1st, but he only changed 2 tires.
Look at the tight racing as they come through turn 4.
Well, here's Dale Jarrett on the inside. outside of Davey Allison going into that turn. Morgan Shepherd was out there, and so was Dick Trickle. But
this is the side cam on Ted Musgrave's car. That racing is right in front of Ted. 3 abreast down through here with Jared, Petty, and Trickle.
Dale Jarrett, Davey Allison, both those cars are lapped down. They're using the cars more than they want to right now, but they need to get up front and try to get a lap back.
they know this might be their best opportunity with Kowicki only taking on 2 tires, and the 9 car apparently not stopping at all.
Here Kowicki goes on the outside of Maynard trying to take the lead. And looks like, yes, he does take the lead. So Alan Kowicki will be the leader if he gets back around to the front straightaway.
Boy, Shipley came off the second corner awfully high and looked like he may have brushed the wall as he pulls alongside Dave Maynard now, looking for second spot. And he will take it as they go into turn 1.
Looks like that was pretty good strategy, Ned, taking on those 2 tires.
Yeah, you know, they go many tires a couple of times during pit stops over there for track position. It worked well for him. It's worked well for him here today.
Brett Bodine mentioned during the coverage of our modified race yesterday how important track position is, and it definitely is here at Martinsville.
Meanwhile, Dale Earnhardt is running 14th right now. To keep track of Earnhardt, who was the leader before the caution flag, had some trouble on the pit stop, is now 14th.
Once again, here's how to win the Gillette Halfway Challenge sweepstakes. Call 1-900-436-7000 before the halfway lap. Call costs you 95 cents. You have to be 18. Stay tuned to see which driver wins the $10,000 reward. If your entry is selected and you are called at home, you will win a Chevrolet Lumina Z34 if you can name the driver who won the Gillette Halfway Challenge. And you can win an instant prize if you have the correct UPC code from a Gillette product. Earnhardt is definitely on the move. He's behind Mark Martin and Ricky Rudd.
But I'll tell you, that's tough going back there. He had it easy out front there a while ago, but now he doesn't get the advantage of a passing flag and all of that. He's racing these guys who are running just about as fast as he is.
Earnhardt gets a good grip on the outside of Earnhardt. Meanwhile, he's trying to run Earnhardt in behind the Ted Musgrave car, hoping that he can use him as a pick. Earnhardt's going to go 3 abreast, and Musgrave knew he was there and backed off a little bit.
And the crowd here on the front stretch goes wild.
Richard Petty was down on the grass again. Now heads down pit road. He just keeps going. Of course, he's pitting on the backstretch. He realized he was on pit road and he slowed it down a little bit. He was going a little bit faster than he should have been.
Boy, what a tough day for the King already.
Here's Earnhardt underneath. Ricky Rudd trying to take that spot away. Mark Martin's going to try to come with him. He's on the inside of Rudd, and he takes his spot away.
10, 11, and 12.
Looks like Earnhardt has that GM Goodrich Chevrolet running the way that he used to. He used to, yes. He is definitely going today. The 4 car, we just saw him go out of the picture there, passed Darrell Waltrip on the outside down in turns 1 and 2. So Ernie Irvin has his Chevrolet running well today. And Jerry Punch is down with Derek Cope, I think, who's out of the race. Jerry?
Well, actually, Benny, you're watching Barry Dotson and some of the Purelator crew trying to replace the steering box, which was broken when Derek Cope came into contact with Davey Allison during the previous caution. They are working here underneath the Bob Whitcomb Purelator Chevrolet while Derek Cope sits patiently in the car waiting to get back in the race. What a tough break for Derek Cope after a great qualifying effort and a good run early on. They want to get back out and pick up some valuable points.
So Derek sits while the action continues on the racetrack. Here is Greg Sachs losing positions in that 41 car. Rusty Wallace to the inside and Ernie Irvin right behind him.
And meanwhile, Darrell Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt behind the Ernie Irvin's car. There goes Ernie on the inside. DW's going to try to follow. These are awfully good race cars. Those 5 cars we see there. If any of those cars was to win the race, they would not surprise me at all.
Seem to be pretty evenly matched, although it would appear in the early going that perhaps Earnhardt's car is running as well as any.
You wonder who's leading the race. Kowicki's kind of checked out. All these guys back in the pack on the restart. He started up front, so there he goes.
He's first, and Morgan Shepherd is second, but about a half a straightaway behind. In third position is Dick Trickle. Then in fourth is Dave Mader, and fifth is Brett Bodine. There's Morgan Shepherd in second. He feels he can win this race today in one omen. He bought lunch yesterday for some members of his crew, and the lunch bill totaled $21.21. So he thought maybe that was a pretty good omen.
Wow.
He must have bought lunch for about 2 people.
Or maybe it was the whole crew and they ate cheaply. So Earnhardt takes another spot away, passes Darrell Waltrip. Earnhardt has now moved up to the 8th spot. The top 10 here in the early going of the Haynes 500 at Martinsville. It's Kowicki, Morgan Shepherd, then Trickle, Mader, and Bodine. In the second 5, Irvin, Wallace, Earnhardt, Darrell Waltrip, and Mark Martin.
Ford trucks, the best never ends.
People used to go out on Saturday night and leave their truck at home. Times have changed. Our 92 full-size pickup is still built Ford tough, but we designed it to be more stylish outside, more comfortable inside. Now, if anything gets left at home, it'll probably be their car.
More people are driving the best-built, best-selling American trucks than ever before.
Pronto Auto Parts. From coast to coast, your local Pronto Auto Parts store features friendly service and quality auto parts at lower prices.
Just a reminder, proper maintenance with AC Delco parts can significantly reduce premature wrinkles. AC Delco, it's like buying time.
When you need to know about auto parts, ask the pro at Pronto.
Gillette presents Sensor, the system, the technology that will change the way you shave forever. Sensor, twin blades set on springs to read your face and respond. Independent suspension to sense and adjust to every curve of your face. No other razor comes close. Gillette Sensor, for the best shave a man can get.
Back at Martinsville in the Haynes 500 here on ESPN. There's Dale Earnhardt as he continues his movement forward, and Dale Jarrett spins coming off of the second corner. Down in the infield grass, I'm not sure we're going to have a caution because Dale's car is off of the racetrack, and now he is moving, so we will have no caution.
No caution flag. No caution flag. So Dale Jarrett loses lots of time. What happened, Ed? Did you see?
He was passing Jimmy Beans on the outside, and I think they just touched a little bit. And
look at this. Ricky Rudd goes around, and the caution flag is out now, Bob. The caution flag is out since Rudd is sitting up against the wall, and he's going to have to back down in traffic to get his car started. That's why they threw the caution flag.
Well, he didn't hit the outside wall, but he slid up towards it, and so the yellow does come out for the 6th time this afternoon for Ricky Rudd, who started this race in 5th position. You can see the pits for the moment are closed as Rudd's car now begins to move away. The pace car picking up the field, forming the pack, and when it is formed, then the pits will open and allow anybody who wants to come in for a stop to do so. Let's take a look again at the incident as Rudd came down the straightaway racing with several men.
Yeah, there's Schrader's in the crash. Well, there's teammate Kenny Schrader and he get together. Remember a couple of years ago when he and Schrader crashed coming off turn 2? But that was just purely racing there, all trying to go in the corner, nose to tail.
So 6 caution periods already, and we're not quite yet to the 100 lap mark at Martinsville.
If you own a local business, you know that advertising decisions are not all black and white. In fact, effective advertising can come to life in a full range of colors and motion. For many local businesses, co-op advertising with store or cable advertising is the answer. If you own a business, manufacturer-supplied co-op funds can help pay for exciting, effective television commercials that show your business in action. Store or cable advertising will help turn your black and white into green.
I'd call my house colonial. Well, contemporary colonial, ramblerish with a touch of Spanish. And it gets very, very cold and very, very hot all on the same day. Well, I was thinking of a window that was round, but kind of squarish, and with a peak.
Marvin windows are made to order.
See the window professionals at Boston Architectural Millwork, Cinnaminson.
PN's cooking up a Tuesday night special of Surf and Turf. A sizzling serving of hot summer nights is a tasty appetizer. Then move on to the main course, a hefty portion of America's favorite pastime. ESPN's Tuesday night special, Surf and Turf. Just make sure you clean your plate.
NASCAR has checked the track. They say all is in good racing condition, and so the pace car pulls off and the green flag waves again on lap number 94, and we resume the Haynes 500. Alan Kulwicki is out front. Running second is Morgan Shepherd, and that 28 car of Davey Allison is third in line, but not on the lead lap.
Dick Trickle is the car that's running third position right now, the Snickers car. And Bob, none of these cars made pit stops. They feel like the right position is just too important to take a chance and go in and change tires.
Phillips 66 roof cam on Jimmy Hensley's machine.
The tires don't seem to go away quite as much here at Martinsville than used to do a lot of other tracks, with the track being as flat as it is. And so you're right. Don't give up that track position.
Has come in for a pit stop. He's one of those on the backstretch.
And Jeff Bodine spins coming off turn 4. Don't look like he made heavy contact with anything. He's waiting for NASCAR. No, they don't throw the caution flag. He wanted them to, but they would not throw the flag.
Well, he knew that the field was way back in the backstretch. Unless he sat there for quite a long time and got lapped, there was going to be no caution, and so he pulled away and stayed on the lead lap.
We talked about, I said at the top of the show that a GM car would win the race. Right now, Ned, we've got Ford, 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 Ford. 4 Fords in the first 4 positions.
Nice call.
Well, this race got a long way to go,
you bet. All right, let's see how Jeff Bodine spun in turn 4.
He and Hensley goes down and hits the curb with the left front and threw the car right in the side of Jeff Bodine's car. The left front just caught that yellow curb.
Jimmy Hensley in for an unscheduled pit stop, and that might be the contact he made with Jeff Bodine there. Might have cut a tire.
The right front tire is flat on the Phillips 66 car.
And there's also obvious contact that has been made with other cars, as there's a mark there on the 66. On the racetrack, meanwhile, Alan Kulwicki continues to lead. In fact, he has quite a comfortable advantage, although the 21 car of Morgan Shepherd is not too far behind. Morgan's in second as you take a look at our Napa field summary, with Trickle in third, and then Brett Bodine and Ernie Irvin. And Hensley looks like will go another lap down, as he is the car just ahead of Alan Kulwicki now. Tops in terms of Winston Cup points on short tracks this year. Kulwicki came into this race 5th overall in the NASCAR Winston Cup point standings. Now Irvin takes the position away from Brett Bodine.
Well, he heard Danny talk about all those Fords up front. He said, I've got Mr. Chevrolet up here with him a little bit.
Everyone kept raving about how well Ernie was running in track session in that Kodak film Chevrolet. They said, this guy is flying.
Yeah, he was. He was strong. He really was running strong in practice before qualifying on Friday, Danny. And he was the first car out. The track had sat there for an hour. And sometimes that's not the best time to qualify, especially on a short track. And he qualified. He was disappointed, as a matter of fact, with his qualifying speed. But yesterday in practice, he was very fast.
is 6th, and Earnhardt is 7th. Cool, cloudy day here at Martinsville. Started off very sunny this morning, but now we have a cloud cover. There is a slight chance of rain later this afternoon, but it should come well after this event is over. But certainly it is much cooler than it was this morning or yesterday.
I'm going to use one more change of letter. Cold. It's cold out there.
And it's pretty windy, and if you're out for a while, it's pretty uncomfortable.
Here's Jeff Bodine in the pits. They're raising the hood, so I guess he has toe-in problems or some kind of problem. Meanwhile, after we watch this, Dale Jarrett goes back in the pits on the back straightaway.
And from the Phillips 66 in-car camera, here is the incident in turn number 4 with Hensley and Bodine. Now watch. Move.
Yep, and that cut the right front down on that car.
Let's get out to Jerry Punch.
Well, Jeff Bodine's Motorcraft Ford still sitting on pit road. He has complained on the radio of a severe vibration in the front end of the car. And obviously, with that kind of contact you just saw minutes ago, it would have plenty of reason to expect that. They still have the hood up now. They put the hood down very slowly. They're talking to Jeff Bodine, and apparently they will push the car behind the wall. It is something they cannot fix quickly on pit road. They will try to get him back behind wall, fix it, and get him back in the Haynes 500.
And as Ned pointed out in our open, Jeff was the last Ford driver to win. He won both events in 90.
And Morgan Shepherd has started to fall back a little bit. You see Dick Trickle in the Snickers Ford has caught Morgan Shepherd, and meanwhile, Alan Kowicki is driven away, so Morgan Shepherd is losing the handle just a little bit.
Kowicki with about a half a straightaway advantage, and Trickle in the Snickers Ford challenging Morgan Shepherd for second position. Trickle started way back in 27. Here's John Kernan with more.
Just talked with Andy Wood. He says Morgan has just decided to play it cool right now. They're running in second place on the scoreboard. They've got a pretty good position. Right now, he's just kind of laying back, saving his brakes, making sure that he has a little something there at the end. And also remember, they changed right side tires only on that pit stop. Eddie had told me earlier that they could run the left side for almost 250 laps before they would need to change those.
Well, see, that's the problem with laying back. If you lay back around here, you're going to get run over, Ned. You know it.
That's the truth. He almost did right there. Now he moves up to let Trickle go under him, and right behind him is Ernie Irvin, who is on the move. You can see that yellow Kodak film Chevrolet coming up there. It says Fords run side by side. Now Morgan goes high, and right under him goes. Ooh, Trickle almost broke loose coming off the turn.
Second and third place change. Trickle to second, Irvin to third, and Morgan drops from second to fourth position in about a half a lap.
Kyle Petty, his left rear tire is flat. He's going on in the pits on the back straightaway. There he comes. His left rear tire is flat. We can see it smoking, and there they go to work on the tire.
Mellow Yellow crew going to work on Kyle Petty, who was running in 11th position when he cut a left rear. The top 10 after 113 laps. We'll be right back.
Today, performance cars come in a variety of designs, sizes, and even prices. So do Goodyear Eagles, the world's most successful line of performance tires. There are all-season Goodyear Eagles, new ultra-performance Goodyear Eagles. There are Goodyear Eagles for the classic and for the contemporary. No matter what performance car you own, there's a Goodyear Eagle priced for you. It's another reason we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
When you consider everything the mountains have to offer, it's not surprising why anyone would want to work up here. Come to think of it, it's not surprising why they'd want to hang around after work either.
Over 1 million people each week walk into AutoZone, and taking care of them means having what they need when they need it. That means stocking a lot of parts for a lot of cars. Now, nobody can stock everything, but we stock more than most. And how do we know which ones to carry? That's easy. We listen to our customers, because nobody knows better about what you want than you. So the next time you walk through that door, you might think of yourself as a customer, but we think of you as the boss.
NASCAR's best take on the world's fastest super speedway. The Winston 500, Sunday afternoon live on ESPN.
Trackbacks are brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil.
Whereas speed and horsepower are the critical factors on a super speedway, on a short track, it's brakes. It's not how fast you go, actually it's how fast you stop. So to learn more about brakes, we need to look no further than Bobby Allison's Raybestos Motorsports team. Let me show you. The brakes on the rear stay the same no matter where you are, speedway or short track. Usually they're JFZs. But when you get to the short track, the front, there's a big difference. Here are the smaller JFZs you use on a super speedway. But when you go to Martinsville or Wilkesboro or some of the other short tracks, you use the larger Alcons, first developed in Europe for Formula One racing. Notice the wider, thicker rotors and the big head and the more heavy-duty calipers. That's because you actually stop a race car on the short tracks with the front brakes. Now, you can use smaller equipment, but you may end up stopping your car with concrete rather than good old reliable Raybestos brake pads.
And there is Mark Martin, and will now, through use of telemetry, show you exactly how much he utilizes the brakes. There he is, standing on them, going into the first turn.
Using the left foot on the brakes, the right foot on the accelerator. Comes off the corner all the way down to the floor, backs off, hits the brakes with the left foot. We can see what's happening to the RPM as he accelerates. Starts back up, accelerates to 7,000, 8,000, 8,300. Backing off on the brakes as he's down in the corner. Now back on the gas.
And he gets a little more RPMs up the backstretch, or at least he did the last time. Well, 8,500 quickly there. So getting off of turn 2 a little better than he's getting off of turn 4.
You see right behind Dale Earnhardt in 7th spot. Earnhardt in 6th spot, directly in front of Martin.
Good shot there of the car on the track and the foot cam on the upper right, and then the telemetry. Mark Martin is a Valvoline Ford prepared by Jack Roush. The leader is Alan Kowicki in number 7, and look who is about to get lapped. Harry Gant in number 33.
The fellow who won the race here last September, when I said there's no way he's going to win the race, he went on and won it, but here he is about to go a lap down to Kowicki.
Here's a Napa field summary for you again as you see where your favorite driver is running. I wasn't going to mention that. I wasn't going to bring that up again, Benny, but I'm glad you did.
Now, Kyle Petty is about to lose another lap. Kyle, we saw him come in for an unscheduled pit stop not too long ago, so he went at least one lap down during that.
Kyle is 23rd, and Gant is now a lap down, and that means that there are, as we get an update on the standings here, 13 cars on the lead lap. And there is Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt as they battle together.
He's passing Earnhardt on the outside, so Dale Earnhardt's car not handling as well as it was earlier in the race, that's for sure. Or Martin's car is handling better, right?
I'd say Earnhardt's is not handling quite as well because he's not running the speed that he did a little bit earlier. There's Derek Cope back out on the track after a lengthy stage on his car after a spin.
Here's the root cam from Mark Martin.
And Morgan Shepherd, he's pitting on the back. He only changed 2 tires on this last caution flight. When he made his pit stop, his only pit stop of the day. And Mark Martin changed 4 tires. That's one reason right now that Martin's car is a little bit faster than Morgan's, and we can see him go by on the inside.
So we talked about those who won their first races here at Martinsville. Included in that group, Jeff Bodine, who scored his first win in April of 1984. Jerry Punch has caught up with Jeff Bodine.
Thank you, Bob. We're with Jeff Bodine. And Jeff, unfortunately, an early day for you here at Martinsville. What happened out there?
Looks like we broke a rod, Jerry. The engine just shut down the back straightaway, and there's a dent in the oil pan and some stuff coming out the bottom. Usually that's the rod brakes. It could be a rod shaft or a bolt. We don't know. Exactly what we didn't want to happen this year. We didn't want any failures, any DNFs. But in this business, realistically, you have to look at maybe 3, 4 in a season. Maybe this will be our first and last, but the car was running really good. It was handling good. You know, we got turned around, and even after that, it was still running good. Really lucky we didn't hit the wall any harder than we did. The car's handling great. It would have been a good run for the Motorcraft car, but here we sit it. I love this place. I love racing here, and I hate watching races here. I'm going to go in the trailer and not watch. Just take a nap, I guess.
Jeff put out a 3-time winner in Martinsville. Now pick up win number 4 today. Bob?
And we do have a lot of action, Jeff. You might want to stick around. The action's good. We saw a spin down there in turn number 1, and it resulted in something happening to Dick Trickle's car.
Yeah, he almost spun going into the turn down there, Bob. He was in some traffic where they got tempered and whatnot, but anyway, Trickle has dropped back to 4th place from his 2nd place position that he was running in.
They went to corner 3 abreast. Trickle on the inside, Rick Mast on the middle, and another car on the outside. Trickle and Mast made contact. Trickle almost won. Rick Mast did make the 360, but he got the car going before NASCAR threw the caution flag.
And Michael Waltrip returns to action after a lengthy stay behind the wall. The Pennzoil Pontiac returns to competition.
And I thought Trickle had a flat tire after spin because he came around and went 2, 3, and 4 slowly, but that was 3 or 4 laps ago. He now is up to speed and seems to be running as well as ever.
Still running 4th, not too far behind him is Rusty Wallace.
And this car, Mark Martin, directly behind Rusty.
Between Rusty and Trickle is the car number 16 of Wally Dallenbach.
Of course, he's not on the lead lap. He's in 24th. There is Sterling Marlin and Dave Mader in car number 9, and Terry Labonte. This is back in 9th, 10th, and 11th position. Dave Mader.
22 car, Sterling Marlin is 9th, and 94 is 10th, and the 17 car, Darrell Walter, is 11th. The 9 car of Mader, he started up front just a little bit ago, but he had not made a pit stop, did change tires, so with those worn tires, he now has went a lap down in his car.
Wiki continues to lead in the Hooters Ford. We talked about the General Motors products starting up front, but it has been Alan Kowicki leading this race for the last several laps and maintaining a rather healthy advantage on 2nd place. Yeah, now is held by Ernie Irvin.
And he's pulling away from Ernie. We see, we've got to go all the way back to there to find Ernie Irvin in the Kodak Film Chevrolet, the 2nd place car. That's Ted Musgrave in the 55 car, the Jasper engine automobile, right directly behind Ernie.
Ted Musgrave carrying one of our in-car cameras. His car sponsored by Freedom Village USA, which is a residential home for troubled teens, founded in 1981, located just north of Watkins Glen, where we will be later in the year. And also a sponsor on that car is Save America Youth. And each time that Ted Musgrave competes in a NASCAR Winston Cup event, a couple of children from these homes are on the pit crew. Ted Musgrave in car number 55. We're at Martinsville, Virginia for the Haynes 500. There are your top 5 after 156 laps.
Hi. You know why Quaker State asked me to be their spokesman? Because I'm tough. Quaker State is tough. Tough on wear and tough on sludge. If you use Quaker State in your new car's engine, they'll guarantee it for 250,000 miles or 10 years in writing. Quaker State is one tough motor oil. So naturally, they asked me because I'm tough. You don't think it's because they think I'm oily?
There's a way to virtually guarantee a safer suspension system. A way to eliminate pulling, shaking, and loss of control. It's the suspension technology of Midas. Diagnostic tools so advanced, they can pinpoint the problem. So you know your car's fixed, absolutely right. And for a limited time, buy one Shocker strut, get the second for 50% off. For a safer suspension, nobody beats Midas.
When you're looking to quench a serious thirst, there's nothing like the tangy citrus taste of Squirt. Give your thirst a Squirt. Regular or diet.
Every summer weekend, millions of the smartest guys in America fire up their Murray mowers. What makes them so smart is that Murray's rated one of the best in quality and performance, with a 2-year warranty backed by 10,000 service dealers. at a price that's about half of other top-quality mowers, which makes Murray mowers tough as they come, any way you cut it.
The time has come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. It's so quick and easy, it can cut painting time in half. So get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Bob Jenkins, Ned Jarrett, Benny Parsons, John Kernan, and Dr. Jerry Punch back at the Haynes 500 in Martinsville, Virginia. We are nearing the 200 lap mark, and Alan Kulwicki in the Hooters Ford car number 7 is the leader of the race. There are currently 13 cars on the lead lap. Michael Waltrip, as we told you a few minutes ago, has rejoined the race. He's many laps down because of a lengthy pit stop. The Pennzoil Pontiac is running, and right behind him is Ricky Rudd in car number 5, who has gone a lap down.
Yes, Kulwicki just, he might have put him 2 laps down. I don't know.
And there's Dave Marcus in the 71 car. Qualified well, had big hopes, but lost a lap early with an unscheduled pit stop. And also many laps down is Derry Cope in the Pure Later car. He had a good qualifying effort, but is out of contention in terms of a win. Here's the 9 of Dave Mader III, and right behind him is Davey Allison.
Allison had a spin earlier, lost a lap. He's the NASCAR Winston Cup point leader, but he lost a lap in the spin, is now a lap down. Harry Gant's a lap down in the Skoal Bandit Oldsmobile.
That car just not working as well today as when he dominated the race here last September, the Goodies 500.
There is the second place car of Ernie Irvin. It shows you how much of an advantage that Alan Kulwicki has on the field at the moment. Bill Elliott has gone on to pit road.
I wouldn't say this is an unscheduled stop, Bob. There's a lot of cars beginning to slip and slide out there as he changes the right side tires on the Budweiser Ford. They're also going to change the left side tires. And I think we'll see other pit stops here coming up before too long.
It was sort of a last-minute decision, though.
4 tires, that's unusual that they would change 4 tires, but evidently the car just not handling the way Bill wanted it. And Kyle Petty's coming off the second corner as he leaves. He's going slow. He's got a right front tire flat.
I think he may have bumped the wall over there in turn 2 or on the backstretch. In any case, he tries to get the car to the inside of the track.
And Rusty Wallace going very slow up the backstretch going into turn 3.
It's like Rusty's out of gas or something. I don't know.
Here's what happened to Elliott as Kulwicki came up to lap him.
Kulwicki's on the outside in the 7 car. And Elliott just slides up the racetrack. I guess he got in the corner too hard trying to stay in front. And he just comes to the pits. He said, hey, these tires are not gripping. I'm going to the pits.
And the caution is out. And Rusty Wallace behind the wall.
Evidently, he's lost an engine and has went back behind the wall.
One of those in the top 5, in fact, was running in 5th position. Rusty Wallace brings the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac behind the wall as we're experiencing another caution period. The field pack being formed, and here comes the leader, Alan Kulwicki, in, and Kyle Petty pitting on the backstretch. Here's Jerry Punch.
And the Hooters crew going to work on Alan Kulwicki's Ford Thunderbird. He would have pitted by scheduling around lap 200, or about 20 laps early if they don't mind, because the cars were beginning to slip and slide. Bob, as you had said earlier, they now change right side. They have changed left side tires. The Ford car, the Kodak crew, the Chevrolet crew, Tony Glover, and they're working down the left side, jacking the left side up of Ernie Irvin. Kulwicki's car down on the way. You hear him put it back in gear. Looking down pit road, you see a lot of activity down pit road. The Valvoline crew now working on Mark Martin's car. Here is Ernie Irvin moving to the right. He will move down pit road. Speed 35 miles per hour. And now, once again, Mark Martin off the jack, and he too will make his way back to turn 1.
Irvin out second. Then comes Brett Bodine, Dale Earnhardt, and Darrell Waltrip just made it out ahead of Martin. Here's John Kernan on the backstretch.
Well, a break for the Wood brothers. They had gone only right side tires last time. The car was beginning to fade on those worn left side tires. They were going to come in and pit in 10 laps anyway, and they had got a big break here as they were close to losing a lap to Alan Kulwicki, who was running so well. It's a 4-tire change on Morgan Shepherd. Gets out. Andy Wood, though, said because of the caution, their strategy of doing 2 tires earlier still was the right call, because now there are, what, 12, 13 cars on the lead lap?
13 when we went to caution, and as they came out of the pit area here on the main straightaway, watch the collision, or at least a near collision, involving Darrell Waltrip and Mark Martin. Field under caution as everybody has now received new tires and gas. We're getting set for another restart in the Haynes 500 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. Be right back.
We got a problem. Any ideas? I've got a contact, sir. Well, get on it then. Get him here now.
Let's roll! Go, go, go!
Where'd you find him? He's been with the organization for a while. Nice job, sir.
With years of training, Napa Auto Care technicians provide a secret service everyone should know about.
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Thursday night, ESPN sets them up and knocks them down.
Knockdown Thursday, ESPN.
Ow! Every week, roll with the punches on ESPN. First with the women of the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour, and then with the hard-hitting action of top-ranked boxing.
Knockdown Thursday, ESPN. Hey!
Green flag racing back at Martinsville as Alan Kowicki leads Ernie Irvin at just about the 200 lap mark out of 500 in the Haynes 500. In third position, not too far behind these guys, is Dale Earnhardt. Fourth is Brett Bodine, and fifth is Darrell Waltrip.
This is something I've been wanting to see for about the last 100 laps because Ernie and Alan seem to be the cream of the crop. I wanted to see what they could do with 4 fresh tires, nose to tail. And it looks like Alan is a little bit quicker than Ernie right now.
Rusty Wallace is out of the race, and Jerry Punch is with him.
After running the top 5 most of the day, Rusty, you're behind the wall. What happened?
Had burned a bearing in the engine. Car ran great. It was really running well, and all of a sudden the caution flake flew. And when the caution flew at the very same time, the engine locked up, and I shoved the clutch in and didn't blow it, but it seized the thing up. So it was handling good. The Miller Genuine Draft car is doing fine, just we can't get that rhythm yet. But everybody hang in there with us because we'll get it. It's just slow coming.
Rusty Wallace calls it a day here at Martinsville. Bob?
And the battle rages on for first position as Irvin pulled to the inside and tried to challenge Allen for the top spot, coming on 4, but Allen maintains the lead. The Grand Marshal of the Haynes 500 here at Martinsville this weekend is the outstanding quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, Boomer Esiason. He's joined us in the booth. Hi, Boomer.
How you doing, guys? All right.
Good. Great.
Enjoying it?
This is unbelievable for all those race fans who've never actually seen a race like myself in person until this time. You got to come out here and see this. This is one just basket full of excitement. I'll tell you, this is unbelievable.
This is a 2-minute drill every lap, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you, these drivers, they have to concentrate every step of the way. One misconcentration, especially on a small track like this, you know, being that they're bumping and grinding the whole time coming through these turns, I mean, can lead to a dangerous accident.
You know, I'm glad to hear you say that because so many times when we talk about athletes, race drivers are not considered as such, but they really are, physically and mentally.
Well, you know, there's no question that they have to be of sound mind and body to be able to perform like this. And I don't think people really can get a true appreciation of just how fast these cars are going and how dangerous this sport is unless you come and see it in person because, you know, for the first time being this close, it's really been an eye-opener for me.
And, you know, on our TV here, we can see the telemetry and the RPMs that the engine turns and the speed down here in the lower right-hand corner. Can you imagine going from 63 miles an hour, which is about as low, 62 that time, accelerating up to about 114 or so miles an hour before slamming on the brakes and doing it all over again?
Well, Bob, I happened to be in the pace car prior to the start of the race, and it was a convertible, and we were only doing 50 miles. I can't even tell, 50 miles an hour, I can't even tell you how many G's we were pulling around these corners. So, you know, it gave me a greater sense of appreciation for what these drivers actually go through.
This is inside Mark Martin's car. The foot cam, also telemetry, as he is behind Darrell Waltrip. Waltrip behind. There's Darrell.
Darrell is 5th and Mark is 6th.
And Brett Bodine is fourth. The green car direct in front of Bell. There he goes. That's Bill Elliott on the outside, who is a lap down to this group of cars.
Elliott had just made a green flag pit stop before the caution came out. In fact, he might be 2 laps down, Benny. They changed 4 tires.
And Dick Trickle not too far behind that group. Let me see. Yep, he is 2 laps down, Ned. You're right.
Now, Boomer, how was it you were chosen to be the Grand Marshal of this event?
Well, I actually do some endorsement work for Hanes Underwear. I'm the guy that you might see out of his uniform, but in his briefs on TV.
Oh, my goodness. Is that you?
That's me. I'll tell you, it takes a hard time, too, to get back in shape for those commercials. But, you know, really, so Hanes asked me to come down and be the Grand Marshal. Last year it was Steve Largent, I believe, and he also does some work for Hanes. And the great people at Hanes that support this racetrack and this race have done such a good job. And they offered me the opportunity to come down. I said, sure, why not?
That's Dick Trickle. Move back up behind Mark Martin. Davey Allison, the Havlin Star car. Hey, guys, now he is a lap down. Fans, if you just joined us, Davey Allison is a lap down. Spun earlier. His car's quick, but he can't get that lap back.
He has led every race so far this year, but now he has not led this race today, and certainly is in jeopardy of not leading it as a result of being a lap down.
And Bill Elliott is also a lap down to the field. We're getting closer to the halfway point. To enter the Gillette Halfway Challenge sweepstakes, call 1-900-436-7000 before the halfway mark. Call will cost you 95 cents. You must be 18 years of age or older to enter. You're called back, and you can name the driver who won the Gillette Halfway Challenge. You'll win a Chevrolet Lumina Z34. You can also win an instant prize for having the correct UPC code from a Gillette product. Gillette Halfway Challenge is coming up about 39 laps from now.
This guy's the worst you've ever seen on math. He did get that correct, but yeah. Hey, Boomer, you can use our phone if you want to go.
Try to win that thing?
Yeah, try to win.
How the Bengals look this year?
Well, we should be pretty interesting. You know, we had the draft, and we drafted David Klingler, quarterback out of Houston. So who knows what our coaching staff has in mind. I thought that maybe we would have taken a defensive player, but they probably felt that he was the best player in the draft at that particular point. So, and we can only get better. We know last year we were 3-13. And, you know, Dale Jarrett wore our helmet going into this race, and Dale's now out of it. I could have told him, hey, look, you might want to put that helmet aside and wear Joe Gibbs' Redskin helmet.
Well, you weren't quite as bad as my Indianapolis Colts, but we hope for a better season from them, too. There's the leader, Alan Kulwicki. Jerry Punch is down on pit road with an update on Ricky Rudd.
Unfortunately, the attrition rate continues to climb, Bob. Ricky Rudd currently 10th in the point standing, sitting in the car behind the wall. Gary Dehart and the rest of the tied crew beneath the rear of the car. As you see, they are replacing the gear. Dehart says apparently something broke in the gear, and the car just wouldn't pull. They're going to put a new gear in it, try to get him back out and try to maintain some standings, hopefully in the top 15, at least the top 20 in the point standings. But right now, Ricky Rudd must sit and wait patiently inside his Chevrolet.
A year ago, Rudd was atop the quest for the Cup standings, but it has been a disappointing 1992. Labonte and Shepard here going for position.
That's the 8th spot. Labonte has it. Morgan Shepard wants it. He's 9th. And the 25 car, Kenny Schrader, he's 10th.
And another Autolite field summary for you. You can watch and see where your favorite driver is running at this particular time. This is within 1 lap right now.
Shepard went high there, and Schrader got by, and there's Sterling Marlin about to go by Shepard as well.
And there's a whole bunch of traffic ahead of the leader, Alan Kulwicki, as he comes off of turn number 4 and sees Bobby Hamilton and Richard Petty and Dave Mader and Ted Musgrave and Rick Mast all ahead of him.
Now, Ernie Irvin hasn't been able to do anything with Kulwicki when they were running out by themselves. In fact, Kulwicki looked like he was pulling away a little bit. Let's see what he can do with him in traffic. Probably not much.
He closes up right on the back bumper. Well, I said on the back bumper, 3 car lengths looks like the back bumper Kulwicki's been running.
The hood on the right side of that 4 car is bowed as it is on the 33 car. We noticed that a little bit earlier, and something hasn't connected right on the hood.
Probably had a little bump out there somewhere and knocked the front end up a little bit. It doesn't affect the running or handling of it.
Going by the Mader car. I thought he moved over to let the 7 car go by, but instead he went by, and that's what allowed Ernie Irvin to close up right on the back bumper off Kulwicki.
Now he is on the back bumper, that's for sure.
long as he possibly can in case the caution comes out. He gets to go all the way around the racetrack. There he's going to go by. Rick Mass moves over to let the leaders go. Hamilton takes advantage and dives on the outside. Here comes Ernie on the inside. Got position. Has to back off.
Who are you pulling for, or anybody in particular? Well, I'll tell you, I have some friends that are in the Maxwell House crew and also the Budweiser crew, Bill Elliott, Sterling Marlin. So I had a chance to talk to Sterling this morning and gave me a once-over of his Maxwell House car. So I would imagine since Dale Jarrett is not racing in this race any longer, that those two would have to be my favorites, along with obviously the king, Richard Petty, who I might add, when I met him, I had a little weak knee. You know, meeting a legend like that, I mean, it's kind of amazing.
He's quite a guy.
He sure is.
224 laps have been completed, and Alan Kowicki continues to lead, holding off the challenge of Ernie Irvan. Earnhardt is third, followed by Brett Bodine. We'll be right back. The halfway point. Ernie Irvan still running about 5-6 car lengths behind. Well, we've been talking with Boomer Esiason, the Grand Marshal of this event here in the booth. And before we do any more talking with him, we want to show you what he and Benny did here at Martinsville recently. You are not going to believe this, folks.
Well, Benny, I got to tell you, I got an excellent opportunity here to work with you. And you being the stature that you are in the race world, and me and Jim Riggs as football players, we can really help you lose that little extra poundage you got around your waist.
You noticed that, huh?
I noticed that. I heard that you've been one to belly up to the buffet every now and then.
I busted a few or two, yeah.
Okay, well, good. I'm going to put you through a workout through Jim, because I'm going to tell him what to do. That's what I usually do on the football field, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to lose some of this stuff.
I'll keep the ball down here. Okay?
All right, sounds good. All righty, Jim?
All right,
let's go do it, man. Okay, Benny, the first exercise is going to be the ropes. This is going to be used to warm you up before we get into the heavy stuff. You ready? Just watch Jim, and you do the same thing. Okay. Go, Jim. Go, baby. Look at those feet move. Look at those feet move. Okay, Benny, you go. Go, baby. Come on, Benny. Come on, Benny. Come on, man. Come on. You can do it faster. All right. Okay, Benny, our next exercise is going to be hitting the tackling dummy. The object here is to stay in a three-point stance and to hit it nice and low and explode up into it and hit it to the ground. So watch Jim. Jim's going to go on set. Down, set. That's the way to hit it. That's a real football player hitting a real bag. So now it's your turn. It's on set, Benny. You ready?
Okay.
Down, set. Oh, man. You okay, man? So, next exercise. Okay. Let's go, man.
So let's see if he can catch one of the heaters that I throw to him. First, Jim Riggs.
Okay. Okay, Benny, you ready?
I'm ready for it.
Jerry Rice, my foot. I didn't think so. How about some donuts? There, now he really becomes the next Jerry Rice. All right, way to go.
Boomer and Benny, ladies and gentlemen.
Benny, thanks for being such a good sport.
Oh, man, that was so much fun.
Now, Benny, tell the fans, really, you really dropped that ball. You weren't really trying to catch it, were you?
Hey, I had it. I mean, no, I was just wanted to look like an idiot, like I normally do. But
they didn't call him fingers for nothing when he was driving race cars.
Well, I'll tell you, though, I had a good time doing that. You know, the folks here at Martinsville have really been wonderful. So.
And we have a fire in one of the cars. Looks like it's
Wally Dallenbach.
5 laps, by the way, to the halfway point. This is in the pit area on the backstretch, so does not have any effect on what's going on the racetrack. And Alan Kowicki is almost completing lap 246, and now there are 4 more laps to the halfway point.
It looks to me like someone told Ernie Irvan, look, the halfway point is 4 laps from now. It's $10,000 because, look, he's closing up on the back bumper of Kowicki.
Irvan will get a run here at it.
Boom, you think that 4 car can catch a 7?
Well, I like the 7. You know, I'm partial to number 7. So,
okay.
You know,
it's almost your color, too, right?
Right. You know,
orange and white?
Almost. And plus, you know, it's the Hooters car. Come on.
3 more laps.
I see that fire in the pit. You know, I can't ever remember the last time I came to the sideline and had a fire on the sideline. So that's a whole other thing you got to deal with.
They use the brakes so much that they build up so much heat that they just literally catch on fire.
That's more prevalent on a small track like this. Is that not right?
Exactly. Flat tracks where they use the brakes so much. Look, he is 1 car length away. A lap and a half to go. $10,000. And they're coming up on traffic.
Boomer,
you get a chance, watch us next Sunday afternoon at Talladega, which is a little over 2.5 miles. And there, under ideal conditions, you just stand on the gas and go around it and never even touch the brake. It's quite different than this kind of racing.
The nice thing about this racing, though, is the intimacy in which the fans are right on top of the track.
Yep. Here we go. Alan Kulwicki coming off to turn number 4, and there is the halfway point. Our leader at the halfway point is Alan Kulwicki. He takes home $10,000 in the Gillette Halfway Challenge Award. If you've entered the contest and are called back and you can correctly identify him as the winner of the Gillette Halfway Challenge, you could win the Chevrolet Lumina Z34. Alan Kulwicki, the leader at the halfway point here at Martinsville.
And look, it looked to me like Ernie Irvin has backed up 2 car lengths since the halfway point. He tried to win that 10 grand. When he couldn't do it, he's going to save his car now. I'll tell you what, that 4 car is good, Ned.
Yes, it is.
He ran up on the back of that 7. He was impressive catching Kulwicki.
Yeah, we see Dale Jarrett's back out there after being in the pits for about
and here's the battle for 5th position as Dick Trickle takes 5th from Darrell Waltrip. They've been running together for the last few laps, but Waltrip has been ahead. But now Dick Trickle takes the position away from Darrell Waltrip. Boomer, thanks for stopping by, and appreciate your efforts there with Benny yesterday.
Well, I appreciate it too, and just thanks to all the folks in Martinsville for making my stay so hospitable.
And good luck to the
very much. Okay.
Good luck to the Bengals this year.
Thank you very much.
All right. Boomer Esiason, the Grand Marshal of the Haynes 500.
There we see Trickle. You know, I met one of the Mars family that he's here in attendance there in Martinsville watching the race. I think it was Frank Mars.
Boy, he's your kind of guy, huh?
Mars candy bars. Tried to hit him up with some samples. He didn't have any on him. And John Kernan has a story on Darrell Waltrip's progress. John?
Well, Benny, we just saw Dick Trickle pass Darrell Waltrip for the 5th position. Darrell, of course, the master, taking it easy in this race, and in the last 100 laps, he tries to make his move. One interesting point, the week before last, he was down here with a brand new car testing it out. That's the car that he set on the pole for today's race. The last time he brought a brand new car here to the Martinsville Speedway, he won the race. Started on the outside of the front row next to Dale Earnhardt. That was when Hurricane Hugo moved through here back in 1989. He won that race. He feels very confident today about winning this race. He's going to wait until afterwards before he decides to name the car. Now, where did Hugo go, you might ask? Well, they reskinned it and sold it to Dale Jarrett, and that's the car Dale Jarrett is driving out there today with a new snout on it.
Waltrip, as a matter of fact, ran both those races at Martinsville in 1989. And in all, he has won 11 times on the Martinsville Speedway. This is his 35th start and 8th pole position. 23 times Darrell Waltrip has finished in the top 5 here at Martinsville. This is his kind of racetrack. But it is Alan Kulwicki who is still leading and about to lap Morgan Shepherd, who at one point was running up in the top 5, but has since dropped back to 11th position. Kulwicki leads Ernie Irvin at Martinsville.
Seconds. During a race, I also wear fireproof gloves and special fireproof shoes. Then there's my helmet. The inside is high-quality, shock-absorbing foam material. Drivers wear a lot of protective clothing during the race. But like they say, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Here we go again, guys. Wow! I feel good. Yeah, this guy really gets around. He's got the auto lights. American Orient, boy, we're guaranteed. I feel good. Yeah, 2 years, no matter how far he goes. That's why we've been everywhere. Vegas. I feel good. Yeah. Daytona. I would now. L.A. Wherever we're going. Yeah. And we're not even tired.
Mark and my relationship goes way past business. I'm sure in a previous life he and I were twin brothers. Throughout the race, the driver and crew chief communicate. The driver complains about the car or brags about the car. It's the crew chief's job on pit stops to make whatever fixes he can to help the driver's predicament. Everyone has about the same access to equipment and technology, but the people who rub on it the most and think the most of it and think about it the most will end up winning the race.
Welcome back to the Haynes 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race from Martinsville, Virginia, where Alan Kulwicki is the leader. Coming up next here on ESPN after this race, we'll take you live for the St. Louis Cardinals and the Los Angeles Dodgers on Monday Night Baseball. That's at 10:30 Eastern Time, right after our race, the Cardinals against the Dodgers. And tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, live from San Diego, ESPN's coverage of America's Cup 92 continues with the Defender and Challenger finals. That's tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, Kulwicki has led the most laps here at Martinsville, as he has the last two races at North Wilkesboro and Bristol. Second position belongs to Ernie Irvan in the number 4 car. He's been in second position for the last many laps, but has not been able to wrestle away the lead from Kulwicki.
The Tide Chevrolet we see behind Ernie Irvan is several laps down. Here comes the black car. There is Dale Earnhardt. He is currently third. He's staying about consistent, isn't he, Ned?
Yeah, he has been about 2.5 seconds behind Kulwicki, who is leading, and just stayed about that distance.
Goodrich Chevrolet started second this afternoon outside of the front row.
Bobby Hamilton in the Country Time Oldsmobile behind Earnhardt. There's Kyle Petty. There again. Again, not running very well this afternoon. Morgan Shepherd. And there comes the next car, the 4th place car of Dick Trickle, the Snickers Ford.
And a great run for Dick. He started 27th. But has been in the top 10 most of the day and in the top 5 a lot.
And the leader's in trouble.
Something's wrong with Kulwicki. Kulwicki's car slowed coming off the 4th corner. He has...
Ernie Irvan has went by before he has the lead. Now Earnhardt is on the outside, and he goes by, and
Kulwicki going very slowly down the backstretch.
I believe he's right front tires.
The left rear, something's wrong with the left rear, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
It's like the hover. I don't know.
We'll see. He's coming into the pits, whatever it is.
Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Well, Alan Kulwicki had radioed in. He thinks he has a flat tire, but he didn't know either which one it was. So the crew now going to work on the right side. The only option they have is to change all 4 tires. Unfortunately, under the green, it'll cost him a lot of valuable time. Right side tires have already been changed. The Hooters Ford now crew working on the left side, changing left side tires. Kulwicki upset, nothing he can do. He's waiting for the go. Down on the jack, remember, it's 35 miles an hour down pit road.
And because of that, Jerry, I believe he's going to lose 2 laps, because here comes Irvan off of corner number 4. It's going to be close. Allen lost 1 lap while he was in the pits and is going to come very close to losing 2, but will not lose the 2nd lap.
There's something still wrong with the car.
Yeah.
The car is not at speed.
Now here comes Irvan sneaking up behind him and threatening to put him 2 laps down. Yeah, Allen's car is still just not working. Kulwicki goes 2 laps down, and I believe he's going to be black flagged for going too fast down pit road. 35 is the speed limit. Here is what happened to Alan Kulwicki moments ago.
He goes in the corner in 3, and the car just goes up the hill, and there goes Ernie Irvan by to take the lead. Jerry, what happened to the car? Do you know?
Now they are speculating, Benny, that he may have broken an axle in the car number 7. He only has 1 wheel pulling coming off the corner. That's why he's not back up to speed. The crew now getting set to bring Alan Kulwicki behind the wall. And what a tough break after this car being so dominant on the short track the past couple of races at Bristol and Wilkesboro. They had this problem happen. They are waiting now for Kulwicki to bring that car behind the wall and take a look at the rear end area.
Man, what a tough break for Kulwicki. You know, last week at North Wilkesboro, he led the most laps, but at the end of the race, faded. The car started pushing, couldn't do anything, and here this afternoon.
He's getting the black flag right now, and Ernie Irvan is the leader.
So Chevy is up front.
I mean, it's almost like the tease of the show that someone was up there and boom, shooting at him and got Kulwicki.
And here's an interesting statistic. This is the first time that Ernie Irvan has led a lap in 1992. The last time he was in front was at Atlanta, the last race of 91.
Kulwicki has brought his car in, put it behind the wall. You see him there as the crew goes to work on it. Tough break.
You know, these cars anymore with the radial tires, they're running special rear ends. They're running cambered rear ends. They tilt the top of the right rear end, the top of the left rear out to try to get more traction on the rear tires on some of these racetracks. And that puts a lot of abuse on the axle shaft and the axle flange, the thing that drives the car. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of those problems did crop up for Kulwicki this afternoon.
Irvin has about a quarter, half a straightaway advantage on Dale Earnhardt.
Then it's almost like when Kulwicki fell out that Dale Earnhardt's car started slowing down as well, because he's losing ground to Ernie Irvin right now, it looks like.
Well, right now he's about 4.5 seconds behind him, and he was staying about 2.5 seconds behind Kulwicki when he was leading. And whether Irvin has picked up or Earnhardt slowed down, I don't know.
Well, an interesting development here in the Haynes 500. Now our Western Auto Race recap, as Ernie Irvin is in front right now, but has only led 4 of the 290 circuits. We've had 7 caution periods today. 10 cars currently on the lead lap, and we're averaging just a little more than 78 miles an hour. Those that have led include Earnhardt, Dave Major III. Kulwicki has led the most laps, and now up front is Ernie Irvin. Those that have officially dropped out of the race include Jeff Bodine, Rusty Wallace, and Jimmy Means. Now, the Western Auto Mechanic of the Year standings. Larry McReynolds from Davey Allison's team is on top, just 2 points over Tim Brewer from Bill Elliott's crew. Andy Petrie from Harry Gant running 3rd in the standings. Paul Andrews from Alan Kulwicki's team is tied with Petrie for 3rd, and Steve Meal with 141 points is 5th.
And Dave Mater spins down in the second corner, does a 360, nails it. Now he's coming back across the racetrack again.
Right in front of the leader.
Yeah. As he was trying to complete the spin, he drifted down low on the racetrack and almost took out the leader. And this will bring out our 8th caution flag of the afternoon.
And someone would race with Kenny Schrader, who is the last car on the lead lap. He is currently running in 9th place, and he was not too far from going a lap down.
Here's a replay of the Mater spin coming off the second corner.
He and Ted Musgrave in the 55 car, the Jasper engine car, got together. He spun it. He did a great job in doing the 360, but then he couldn't stop the car and comes back right across the race. And there's the leader, Ernie Irvin, the first car in the picture, the orange car.
Now the pace car has formed the pack. The pits are open. Here comes Ernie. And we'll go to Jerry Punch for the call.
And as we would expect, we will have a 4-tire change here in the Kodak pits. The Chevrolet crew, Tony Glover, the crew chief, going to work on the Morgan McClure machine. Ernie Irvin sitting patiently, 1 can of fuel in, second one going in. And these crews aren't too upset about having a chance to come in under caution. They were concerned on the track getting awfully slippery and awfully greasy. 3 on the bottom of your screen, that's Earnhardt's Good Race Chevrolet crew. Now going to the left side of that car, the Flying Aces, led by Kirk Shelvernine, changing left side tires, while Ernie Irvin, further up pit road, has changed all 4 tires and is headed back toward turn 1. Earnhardt is out, and you'll hear the crowd roar as Earnhardt able to make it back to turn 1, and Dick Trickle's made it into the back pits. Let's go to John Kernan. Trickle, a great run in the 3rd position. Will be a 4-tire change for Ken Wilson and the crew. Right sides are already on. They swing the jack around and go to work on the left side. Can of fuel going in. He is full of fuel. Now the tires going on. The left side, Trickle, as we see cars spinning down or coming down the back stretch. Mark Martin is already out. Trickle pitting in on the back stretch, went from 3rd and several positions back just by virtue of pitting back here.
And here on the main straightaway, meanwhile, one of the cars that is going to go a lap down is Darrell Waltrip. They've stopped him because he just wasn't in position when the pace car arrived at the line, and so Waltrip goes a lap down. Here's a replay from Ted Musgrave's side cam.
Now watch this. He's going to go inside the 9 car. The 9 car is going to go down, and around goes the 9.
Boy, it doesn't take much of a bump. You're almost out of control going around the turns anyway.
303 laps completed, just a little less than 200 to go as we were under our 8th caution of the day here at Martinsville.
Today, performance cars come in a variety of designs, sizes, and even prices. So do Goodyear Eagles, the world's most successful line of performance tires. There are all-season Goodyear Eagles, new ultra-performance Goodyear Eagles. There are Goodyear Eagles for the classic.
Here's Mark Martin going on the inside of Brett Bodine takes that spot away. It's like Bodine has some kind of problem or something, or he got the car out of shape or something, because Martin passed with ease.
Yeah, I noticed Brett, as he came off the second corner down the backstretch, just wasn't running very well. Hey, there's LaFonte, and he, too, is running very well. And Jerry Punch can update us on Alan Kowicki. And we'll do that in a moment. We'll keep an eye on Irvin as he threatens to take the lead away from Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt is on the outside. Irvin trying to get to the inside. Dale holding off the challenge at the moment. Yep, he's going to hold it this lap.
But he goes up. Now Ernie's going to come back on the inside. They should be almost in trouble. Dick Trickle spins coming off of turn 4.
That's into the infield in turn number 4.
The leader did not take the caution flag, but let's see. Meanwhile, NASCAR is watching Trickle, see if he gets his car rolling, so there will be no caution flag.
Nope. Trickle is moving, and so no caution. Here comes Irvin challenging once again Dale Earnhardt, but Dale successfully holds him off.
Dale is getting a good grip up in the... We see Ernie get the car sideways down on the bottom of the racetrack.
And here's a replay of Dick Trickle's spin. Looks like he got
just a little help from the 26 car, Brett Bodine,
who got hit from behind by the 94 car, who probably got hit because he was hit. So it was a chain reaction of events that caused Trickle to spin to the infield grass. Now, we'll continue to watch this situation between Earnhardt and Irvin as Jerry updates us on Allen.
They are still working on the Hooters Ford. Alan Kowicki is out of the car, walking around, and apparently it was not an axle problem. They had stripped the drive plate. So Benny Parsons' speculation was correct. They used the cambered rear end, and in Richmond early in the year, a number of teams had problems with the drive plate. That was exactly what the problem was in the right rear of the Hooters Ford.
Once again, Irvin moves alongside to challenge Dale Earnhardt. They're side by side down through the main straightaway. Irvin, I believe, is going to get the lead away from Earnhardt.
They're still side by side, neck and neck. Ernie's able to go through the middle of the corner better, but Earnhardt gets a great jump off the corner, accelerates back up alongside of Ernie. Once again, we see Ernie go through the middle of the corner so much better, but here comes Earnhardt back on the outside again.
Well, the folks in Detroit are saying, all right, at least those concerned with General Motors products, because two Chevys are battling for the lead, but coming on in third position is the Ford of Mark Martin.
Yeah, while they were battling side by side, he was enjoying that because he was creeping up on them every lap around the track. He not only was watching a good race, but he said, keep doing that, fellas. I'll catch you.
And Ernie did it the hard way, 1 foot at a time.
This is the view that Mark Martin had of that battle for first. This is the roof cam. And you can see how close he is to second place Earnhardt.
Mark Martin looks like his car is running as good now as it has all afternoon. Talking to him Friday before qualifying, he said they just never have figured out a good race setup here for that Valvoline Ford. The car's always qualified well, but looks like he's running as well in the race as he has in a long time, or maybe ever.
Yeah, the car was fast in practice yesterday afternoon.
Well, Brett Bodine, and Sterling Marlin are hoping that they can keep the Ford string aligned. All 3 of those Fords are in the top 10. We'll be right back.
Here we go again, guys. Wow! I feel good. Yeah, this guy really gets around. He's got the auto license. American Orient Paul, we're guaranteed. I feel good. Yeah, 2 years no matter how far he goes. That's why we've been everywhere. Vegas. I feel good. Yeah. Daytona. I would now. L.A. Wherever we're going. Yeah! And we're not even tired. Wow!
Al Unser Jr. knows the corkscrew at Laguna Seca with his eyes closed. Fortunate, considering it's a blind turn. Mark Martin knows if he lets someone cross his wake at 200 miles per hour, his car may be doing the lambada. And Joe Amato knows that at 296 miles per hour, he must pull his chute at precisely the right moment to keep from becoming an astronaut. Apparently, it is what you know.
We're riding with Mark Martin, who is in 3rd position in this Haynes 500. He's behind 2nd place Dale Earnhardt, and the leader of this event at the moment, that's Ernie Irvan. Our Speed World coverage is being brought to you by Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. And by Autolite Spark Plugs, guaranteed for 2 years, no matter how far you go. Cloudy skies here at Martinsville, but no rain in the immediate area as Ernie Irvan is now stretching out his advantage a little bit over Dale Earnhardt. Mark Martin is right on Dale Earnhardt's bumper.
Yeah, he's staying right close to him, Bob, closer than he has been all day. As Benny pointed out a little bit earlier, he seems to be running better now.
Ned, those Railbird guys with all their stopwatches were correct. That 4-car has been fast. Yep, sure has.
Here's an Autolite field summary for you again as we review the entire field as it is running or has been running within the past lap. Positions change all the time, of course, on a short track. It's not easy to get absolutely accurate information, but this is as accurate and up-to-date as it can possibly be. On pit road. He was back out on the racetrack for a while, but he's gone on to pit road once again as they try to sort out the problems in that car that led for many, many laps.
And he did not get back up to speed, full speed, Bob, when he went back out on the racetrack. He lost a couple of laps, even 10 laps or so out there, just was not up to speed, but maybe they have got him squared away now. But he was about 32 laps down when he came back out on the racetrack, so now he must be 36 or 37 laps down.
He returns to competition once again. He's 35 laps down.
There's Earnhardt directly in front. Mark Martin of Valvoline Ford.
Dr. Jerry Punch can update us on the problems that have been plaguing Alan Kulwicki.
Once again, the story is not good. They worked on the drive plate area in the right rear of the car. He went back on the racetrack, but as you documented, he did not get back to full speed. Kulwicki has complained the car feels like the rear end is tilting in the corners and going in and out, particularly coming out of turn 2. The car has a vibration. They brought him back on pit road moments ago, looked at it. Everything seemed to be okay. They checked the wheel for any loose hooks at the rear end. He said, hey, let's go out and ride it out and try to collect some points.
Winston Cup points. He was 5th in the standings coming into this event, but only 7 behind Terry Labonte, who was 4th. Now Mark Martin once again is within a car length or so of 2nd place Earnhardt as Irvan is still leading.
And Terry Labonte was having another great run. He was up about 6 or 7 spots, but about 10 or 15 laps ago, he slowed down some, didn't he, Ned, the 94 car?
Yeah, it looks like he might have lost a cylinder or something. Then he just slowed down. He's still running and still getting around pretty good, still in the lead lap, but he's certainly off pace from what he was.
There's a 4th place car, the Quaker State Ford, driven by Brett Bodine. He has been in the top 5 just about all day. Started 3rd.
Brett has had a good run this afternoon. He's not a great run, just a good run.
And Sterling Marlin is also having a good run today. He's 5th. We haven't talked too much about him, but he's run a clean race. I don't see hardly a mark on that car.
He's about 8.5 seconds behind the leader. Brett Bodine is about 6 seconds behind Ernie Irvan.
Finished 28th and 14th in the 2 races here at Martinsville last year. We continue our pan back.
You see Darrell Waltrip and Davey Allison battling for position. They're each a lap down, but then your 6th place car is Kenny Schrader of Kodiak Chevrolet,
who is on the lead lap. Behind him is Bill Elliott, who's a couple of laps down. Bill Elliott made a pit stop, changed 4 tires, and lo and behold, no sooner did he get through the pit stop than the caution flag came in.
There's Bill Elliott. He is 14th, 3 laps down to the leader.
Barry Gant, he's also a lap or 2 down to the leader.
And there is Dick Trickle. And he is 8th, and he is the last car on the lead lap.
So that makes Davey Allison in 9th place and Darrell Waltrip in 10th place. They're each a lap down.
Dick Trickle's fun. Well, 15, 20 laps ago, coming off turn 4, there was no caution flag, and that's one reason he's almost a lap down to Ernie Irvan.
Yeah, Irvan is creeping up on him a little bit, Jenny. He was not too far in front of Irvan when he got righted and headed back into competition, but Ernie is gradually creeping up on him a little bit. He's right now just about a second behind Trickle, so Trickle would love to see a caution.
Putting another lap on Ted Musgrave in the 55 car. Terry Labonte came into this race fourth in point standings, 123 behind Davey Allison, and would like very much to have a good showing so he can move up. He is currently in 7th position, and John Kernan has a report.
You got that right, Bobby. He's got an amazing string going. Terry's the only driver to finish in the top 10 in all 7 races so far this year. At first, we thought he radioed in. He thought he may have lost a cylinder. The car is just slowing down. But as you drove by the crew, listen, it doesn't have that familiar sound when you're only running on 7 cylinders. Then he thought it could be the battery is going dead. But now he says he's checked out the battery with the gauges. The battery is fine. It just seems the car just keeps slowing and slowing. Terry is very perplexed. He says he has no idea what the problem might be. So they're just going to have to ride it out.
Well, at one point about 50 laps ago, as he was in the top 10, he stood a chance of gaining some real ground in the Winston Cup points because he was only 10 behind Bill Elliott coming into this race, 1,023 to 1,013. But look, all of these guys, Allison, Gant, Elliott, Labonte, and Kawicki, have had their problems and are not among those contending for the lead this afternoon. The guy who is in the lead is Ernie Irvan, whose best 1992 finish has been an 11th at Rockingham. Back with more of the Haynes 500 after this.
Deer season sale days are going on now. Save hundreds of dollars at your local John Deere dealer. STX 38 lawn tractors as low as $19.99. Get up to $150 off on John Deere riders or up to $80 off on mulching mowers. Use your John Deere credit card. Get 90 days same as cash. Now is the time to visit your nearest John Deere dealer. But hurry, deer season ends May 31st. Stop by Wainwright Lawn and Garden in Bordentown. Remember, nothing runs like a deer.
Larry the Siding Man has been serving the South and Central Jersey area for more than 15 years. Larry the Siding Man is a family-owned business that sells the highest quality home improvement products, like solid vinyl siding in all styles and colors, custom vinyl windows from Trocal, custom bows and bays, steel doors and patio doors, roofs, and custom decks and additions. Buy 6 windows and get 1 free. Plus, you'll get free gutters and spouts with every complete siding job. Larry the Siding Man, Route 130, Willingboro.
ESPN's Kentucky Derby Special. A lineup of pre-Derby races, features on Derby favorites, and analysis on how the Derby will be run. Enjoy the Kentucky Derby pre-race special. Saturday live on ESPN.
Back at Martinsville, and all of a sudden we have a battle for the lead as Irvan has serious challenge from Dale Earnhardt.
It's like Ernie Irvan's brakes have went away or something. I don't know exactly if his car is slowing and he's quick. The car's running down the straightaway because he's able to keep up with Earnhardt, but there goes Dale by, new leader.
Yeah, I think Irvan has slowed a little bit because not long ago he was about to lap Dick Trickle, and Trickle has moved on out about 2.5, 3 seconds in front of him.
Well, the fans here on the main straightaway have their hands in the air cheering for Dale Earnhardt, who has the lead from Ernie Irvan once again. And there is Dick Trickle, or rather Mark Martin, running a very close third.
He's just been sitting there watching those two as they do battle up there. He hasn't gotten too far behind since they last stopped.
On the roof cam on Martin's Valvoline Ford.
You see how many 114 miles an hour he's running as fast now as he has any time this afternoon.
And it is still turning as many RPMs as it has all afternoon. What have you learned about Ernie Irvan?
Well, like you, Bob, we were all speculating there may be something wrong with the car, maybe even a brake problem or something in the rear end, but they've denied all those questions. They said basically they told Ernie just to remain calm, take it easy. They don't plan on pitting until about 40 laps to go in this thing, so they've got at least 100 more laps on these tires. So just stay calm. We're there. We got a good race car. Let Earnhardt go. We'll run our race, and when push comes to shove with 40 laps to go, we'll put fresh rubber on and go after them.
Well, that's interesting strategy. Yeah, we do have several laps to go in this race, about 133 to be exact, but still.
But with just 40 laps to go, if they're going to stop with just 40 laps to go, I mean, one can of gas, but one, you don't even have to have a whole can of gas to do that. So I think the guy, Ernie, almost spun. He's off the pace.
He has. He's lost second position to Mark Martin.
He's ripped a flange plate or something.
He's coming in. Irvin is coming in. Jerry, he's headed toward you.
While the car comes down, the crew are very surprised. They have not been able to, and apparently he is trying to take off. They are going to push the car. He tried to put the car in gear and take off, and the wheels just spun and the car did not move. Now they are going to take the car behind the wall, so the crew is about as surprised as we were to see Ernie Irvin suddenly slow and come behind the wall. So once again, speculation has to be that maybe something in the rear gearing, an axle problem, maybe a drive, but like we saw with Alan Kowicki, could be a problem.
Gentlemen, having to lead is not the place to be today. We've seen Alan Kowicki leading and having problems, and now Ernie Irvin right there. Something happened.
Yeah, he lost one of his rear axles, and that's what caused the car to steer with the rear end like that way. He immediately backs off the gas, and that keeps the car going straight, but Martin went by on the outside and take away second spot.
Well, he didn't have the problem while he was leading, but he certainly led many, many laps, and now he, too, is behind the wall. So now we have a battle between Ford and Chevy up front. It is Chevrolet leading with Ford and Mark Martin running second.
Earnhardt, the outside pole sitter,
Benny, you mentioned earlier about the caster that they're building into the rear ends of these cars. I've never heard of that until just recently this year. And with the problems we had seen earlier in the year, I think Brett Bodine had some problems at Richmond. And now here today, we've seen a couple of cars. Not saying that that's exactly what happened to these cars, but it certainly indicates that that's what has went wrong. I'm sure that a lot of them are going to take a second look at that concept.
We'll be announcing the winner of the Gillette Halfway Challenge during our Talladega telecast next Sunday. Entries now being accepted for the next race. You call 1-900-436-7000. It'll cost you 95 cents should you have to be 18, or you can send your name and address and telephone number to the Gillette Halfway Challenge, Post Office Box 1868, South Hackensack, New Jersey 07606.
And the 55 car, Ted Musgrave, is slowed, and you know, it's almost like he has the same problem, the way the car's reacting, like he has an axle shaft problem or some type of problem. Well, some of our spotters have told us that the right rear brake line is broken on the car, and the car has no brakes, so
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why I would be going slow too, Ted.
I'd be going a lot slower than that if I were Musgrave. Now he's coming in on the backstretch.
Let's see if he can stop. I guess he's going behind the wall. I hope he can stop.
Let's hope so.
If somebody walks out in his way, he will.
Well, they have to kind of grab the car and stop it, but everything's okay back there. We'll jack it up and take a look at it. Earnhardt leading at Martinsville. He has 5 victories on this racetrack. Most recent was this event last year. He's the defending champion.
Now he is putting a lap on Terry Labonte. Labonte now has dropped back to the, 7th position, still running 7th?
Still running 7th, but now a lap down. So only 6 cars now in the lead lap.
Take a look again at our outer light field summary. We run down the entire field and who's still in and who's still out.
Buddy, we're about equal with him. We're equal.
There's some radio communication with some of them bleeding through on our equipment.
They were about equal. Sort of sound like Mark Martin.
It did sound like Steve Meal and talking to Mark Martin. Trying to keep Mark's hopes up that he could catch that 3 car and take the lead here this afternoon.
Well, they still have one more pit stop to make.
And there again, how are they going to play the strategy? Is someone going to stop early? There's Dick Trickle off the pace. Now, as he lost it, it looks like he's lost an actual flange or something.
All of a sudden,
see, watch him go up there and almost run poor old Dave Marcus.
And Labonte. Very slow down the front straightaway. You know, you guys talked in the opening part of the show about how technology has caught up with Martinsville. And we've seen a lot of mechanical problems, it seems like, here this afternoon.
Of an unusual manner, too. And the technology that is letting some of these cars handle better with the camber that they're building into the rear axle housing might be coming to catch up with them here.
I think the rough racetrack, you know, this concrete down the bottom and how bumpy it is down there, I think that would be tough on these axle shafts. Here's Davey and Darrell.
They're not on the lead lap, but they are battling.
Some of our spotters have told us that's exactly what happened to the 8 car with axle housing problem. Drive plate, axle shaft, whatever.
This is the battle for 7th position, and Jerry has an update on Ernie Irvan.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, the speculation was indeed correct. It was the exact same problem that Alan Kwiatkowski had. The drive plate in the right rear of the Kodak Chevrolet of Ernie Irvan had been chewed away. They have pulled the axle out. They are working on the car, but it will cost him a lot of valuable time here in the pits and certainly a shot at victory.
I started to say a moment ago, how they're going to play the strategy now. Just, you know, 116 laps to go. Is someone going to stop early, change 4 tires? Or are they going to run long and just put in a little bit of gasoline?
I would believe they would run long.
I think so, too.
You can't afford to stop under the green here. If you do, you're going to lose a couple of laps, and I think you got to stay out there as long as you possibly can.
He is about to lap the 5th place car of Ken Schrader.
And Davey Allison, the points leader, is in the wall coming off turn 2. Some heavy damage to the Avalon Ford.
He went in there big time and is up against the outside wall coming off of the 2nd corner and bringing out caution number 9.
And Schrader's trying desperately to stay in the lead lap. And Schrader almost sideways.
But Earnhardt beats him back to the line.
He also beat Rudd back to the line, put both of them a lap down.
Now we'll see if Davey Allison is okay. He seems to be moving around in there.
Schrader didn't like that situation with Earnhardt at all. There is Davey Allison as we see him go into the wall. Apparently, I don't know if he cut a tire down or had one to go down or what happened, Bob, but I think the tire's flat now, but whether it's flat before he went into the tire, don't know, but he's hit it hard.
There is
and Davey Allison's ribs are still hurting from that blow at Bristol, so he didn't need to hit that wall coming up the 2nd corner. Jerry punches down in the Earnhardt pit. Jerry.
While the crew waiting for Dale Earnhardt to come down for his service, just 113 laps remaining here in the Haynes 500. The 6th on the bottom of your screen, that is Mark Martin, of course, the Valvoline Ford. Top of your screen, our previous leader, Dale Earnhardt, the Goodrich Chevrolet. Right side tires going on the Earnhardt car. They're already down to the left side. The jack by David Smith. Kirk Shelburne in the left front tire. Left rear tire going on. Likewise, Martin left side tires. Earnhardt is down and away. Martin still on the jack, and we watch for Mark Martin to come off the jack and begin to move down pit road. And here he comes, headed back to turn 1.
Being very careful not to violate the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit down pit road. As soon as they cross that stripe there at the end of pit road, that they can begin to accelerate.
Here's what Ned was talking about a little bit ago, but Schrader telling Earnhardt, hey, man, why don't you let me have that lap back?
Under our 9th caution because of a crash in turn number 2 involving Davey Allison. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
It was 8 o'clock in there, right? Yeah. My truck wouldn't start. And the lights worked, but the engine wouldn't turn over. So I figured it must be the starter, right? Well, I went to AutoZone. They said, let's test it. Turns out it was okay. So we tested my battery and found that it just didn't have enough juice to crank it. Now get this. I didn't have to spend a dime, because they even charged my battery for free. Get out of here. That kind of service? Hey, you just can't beat it.
ESPN's America's Cup 92. Dennis Conner launched a surprising comeback, but Bill Koch has his sights set on defending the cup. Plus the battle of the red boats. New Zealand against Italy for the right to be called the challenger. The America's Cup, the Defender, and the Challenger Finals tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern, live on ESPN.
Getting set to go back to green once again after an accident involving Davey Allison. By the way, he got out of the car under his own power and has walked into the infield care center being checked over. I'm sure Dr. Punch will have an update on Davey Allison when it becomes available. In the meanwhile, here's the green flag as we resume competition with Earnhardt out front, followed by Martin, Brett Bodine, Sterling Marlin, and Terry Labonte.
That's exactly how the race started. Darrell Waltrip on the inside, Earnhardt on the outside. But now we're 400 laps into the race, and Darrell Waltrip is a lap down to the 3-car, trying desperately to get it back.
Darrell is currently being shown in the 5th position. He's the last car. The first car is the lap down. I should say this. And as you mentioned, 4 cars in the lead lap.
Yeah, Terry Labonte is also a lap down.
Yeah.
So Darrell slipped. Earnhardt gets in front, and Martin drives up on the outside of Darrell Waltrip. He's a second-place car. The blue and white car in the back behind the tree. He's the second-place car. Darrell lets him go. And let's see his guy. He's going to let. Well, I think he's going to let him go and settle this in.
Yeah, I think he gave it his shot and said, hey, I can't get back in the lead lap, so I'll just let him go and ride here. We're still running in the top 5. Maybe something will happen to somebody else like this.
And we just saw Sterling Marlin at the top of the screen. He has taken over the 3rd place spot from Brett Bodine. So we got Chevrolet, Ford.
But Chevrolet leading.
And that is the spot that counts more than anything.
As we saw as he raced back to the caution flag just a few laps ago, Dale can, shall we say, protect his position with the best of them.
Well, he certainly can. And, you know, we saw earlier in the year, I think it was at Daytona in the 500, that some of the Ford drivers worked together and let, I think Davey Allison let Jeff Bodine get back in the lead lap when a caution came out. Here's a battle between Sterling Marlin and Brett Bodine.
Something's wrong with Sterling Marlin's car. He just moved over down the back straightaway. Brett Bodine pulled up on the outside of him. Now he might have it going again.
Anyway, they're doing some good racing. While they do that racing, let me finish the story about the Fords working with each other to try to help. Now Sterling gets that position back, trying to help each other. But Earnhardt had an opportunity to let a Chevrolet stay in the lead lap, but chose not to do it. Now he's in the lead lap with 3 other Fords.
Here is the completion of lap number 400. 100 laps to go. For you.
This is a race for 3rd spot. The blue car, 22, Sterling Marlin, Maxwell House Ford. He's 3rd, 4th place car. The Quaker State Ford of Brett Bodine. Meanwhile, Earnhardt is the leader, and Mark Martin is 2nd.
Only those 4 cars on the lead lap.
Sterling Marlin's car seems to really slow right in the center of the corner, but then he gets good traction off the corner. And you see Darrell Waltrip is staying right there with Martin. Earnhardt not that far ahead. Darrell might see an opportunity here and say, hey, let me pick the pace up a little bit. I might be able to pass these guys and get back in the lead lap.
You don't see very often. Saw a record going down the back straightaway as the race was going on. Got a good car this afternoon. It doesn't appear he's quite as good as Earnhardt.
Mark Martin finished 3rd at Darlington this year. That's been his best finish of the year. Only 2 top 10 finishes for Mark this year. His other one was at Rockingham when he came home in 6th position. But it is Earnhardt that's leading the Haynes 500.
Suzuki GS 500E. It hustles and still leaves cash in your pocket.
There aren't any fax machines or PCs to help you at this job. And your career path is largely determined by the mood of your horse. So why would did anyone choose to work up here in the mountains? Maybe it's the fringe benefits.
Oil. It's the lifeblood of your engine. That makes your oil filter your engine's most vital organ. That's why Fram keeps going the extra mile to make the best protection even better. The Fram Extra Guard oil filter. Unique glass fiber paper stops more dirt than any other filter for the best protection ever. Fram Extra Guard. American or import, it's an extra lease on life.
We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, we got it, we got it.
If you've got to have it, there's no better time to get it.
We got it, we got it, we got it, you got it, you got it, you got it.
The Suzuki We've Got It flexible financing. Come and get it.
Dale Earnhardt is leading the Haynes 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race. Stop number 8 on the circuit for 1992 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. Earnhardt is leading in the GM Goodrich Chevrolet, looking for his first victory of the 1992 season. And Mark Martin is running in second position.
The 4-car, Ernie Irvan, is not in third place. He is several laps down. He's got a good race car, but he has some mechanical problems. Had to spend 30, 40 laps in the pits curing those problems. He's back now, trying to complete some more laps. And if he can stay out there, he is going to gain some points on Davey Allison. Say Bobby Allison. Davey Allison and NASCAR Winston Cup point with crashed hard. What was that, 30, 40 laps ago, Ned? Yep. He is out of the race. I don't think they can fix that car. So if these fellas can run more laps than David, they'll finish in front of him and gain more points.
But Ernie is pretty far down in the points, but he's having another problem right now. Ernie Irvan, as we talk about him, slows going into turn 3 one more time. But yes, practically everybody in the field is going to gain on Davey Allison today.
Yep. Allison crashed out of this race a few laps ago, made heavy contact with the wall coming out of turn number 2 onto the backstretch. After he got out of the infield care center, John Kernan talking with him.
Well, we caught up with Davey Allison, who's just been checked out at the infield care center. First of all, Davey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, John. I just re-bruised my ribs a little bit, but everything's okay. You know, I felt the tire the right front tire starting to get a little soft, so I backed off and let Darrell go, and it just let go all at once, no warning.
That's Davey Allison, who's a little bit sore, but he appears to be fine, Bob.
Davey out of the infield care center and okay after a crash that has eliminated him from the Haynes 500. Well, Waltrip is still trying to get that lap back. He's within a car length or so of Dale Earnhardt. Well, he looks inside of Dale.
Yeah, he's been working on him, looking for every opportunity.
Earnhardt's got an awfully good race car. I'd be surprised if anybody's going to pass him in the next 30, 40 laps, because his car is good. Maybe not as good this afternoon as Alan Kowicki's or Ernie Irvan's, but those fellas had problems. Earnhardt hasn't had any problems.
Martin continues to run in second, carrying the Ford banner at this point. Will their streak end at 11 consecutive NASCAR Winston Cup races dating back to Charlotte of last year? It appears as if it might come to an end this afternoon. But there are a couple of other Fords that are right there to step in if something happens to Earnhardt, namely Sterling Marlin in 22 and Brett Bodine in the 26.
Here's Waltrip once again trying to get by the 3-car, trying to get that lap back. Trying to keep her on the bottom of the race car. Earnhardt's letting the car go up, running the high groove, trying to take it easy on the brakes, easy on the tires.
Evidently getting a little slick down on that bottom side. Most of the cars have been running down there all afternoon, and it's hard to get traction coming off the turns, especially after your tires get heated up. But Waltrip is certainly giving it the old American try.
I think this is what Mark Martin wanted. I think he wanted Darrell Waltrip to get up there and race Earnhardt as hard as he could and try to let Earnhardt get those tires slippery, start going away a little bit, because he wants to gain. There he is. He's gaining. He's closing up on Earnhardt just a little bit.
And Earnhardt is getting such good traction coming off the turn, but he is just gaining maybe 6 inches a lap or maybe a little more.
And that is the view that Mark Martin has, saying, yeah, I like this.
Yeah, he does like that. Those guys up there racing with each other.
Well, I thought Darrell was going to get it, but not yet. They're still side by side as they go into turn number 1.
And Mark Martin closes it right on the back bumper.
Now they're coming up on some other traffic up there. Let's see what that's going to do for them as they run side by side. That might work to Earnhardt's advantage.
Jimmy Hensley is just ahead in the 66 car, and so is Greg Sachs. Hensley pulls to the inside and allows both of them to go by.
That was a nice move by him to just let those guys go on. That's why they call him the Virginia Giant.
For those of you who are just joining us, he too is many laps down. We're talking about the 66 car by Jimmy Hensley.
That's the camera from the inside. Jimmy Hensley's Phillips 66 car as he looks at the front 3 cars.
60's running 16th.
He's 12 laps down.
Boy, Walter has worked so hard that is so nice. Yeah, I don't think he's touched Earnhardt yet. They've been running side by side for what, about 5 or 6 laps?
But indeed, Mark Martin has closed in on both of them. Max's strategy was just as Vinny said, to let Darrell get up there and race with Earnhardt. Wear the tires out. Martin will be right there to step into the first place. That car's still turning high 80s in RPM category. About
8,500 that time. So he's getting all he's got. And Darrell Waltrip's getting all he's got.
He's just about half in there. He's worked it up to where he's got a half a car length lead on Earnhardt now going into turn 1. He wants to get up there before he gets to Greg Sachs so that Earnhardt can't box him in behind Sachs, but that's exactly what Earnhardt wants to do, is box him in behind the car number 41.
And I think that's what's going to happen.
Yep. Nope.
Sachs moves up
Yes,
in front of Earnhardt.
And this is going to allow Darrell to definitely get his lap back. How about that? But Earnhardt says, okay, in that case, I'll try to put you down another lap. Well, there are 59 laps to go in this race, and it's still anybody's. Earnhardt, Martin, and others. We'll be right back.
Professional service, a friendly face. That's your Big A Pro.
Keeps your car running right.
The time has come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. It's so quick and easy, it can cut painting time in half. So get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Out of my bedroom window?
No.
Can I grow a mustache?
No.
Can we go shark fishing?
No.
How about we...
No.
Dad, can I have a pet monkey?
No.
Oh, darn. Beekeeping!
No.
Dad?
What?
Can we go to McDonald's?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Can I drive?
No.
Oh.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'm not a real doctor, but if I were, I'd recommend ligament for occasional muscle pain.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going.
Back at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, it is still a battle between Darrell Waltrip and Dale Earnhardt. Now, this isn't for the lead. This is Earnhardt trying to put Waltrip a lap down. Darrell got it back a few laps ago, but Earnhardt, once again, is right alongside Darrell.
And it's just reversed. The last time we saw them, Earnhardt was on the outside and Waltrip on the inside. Now they've switched. They've got Darrell on the outside, Earnhardt on the inside. Dale was getting a great jump on the outside, a good bike. Darrell's getting a pretty good bite out there as well. Pulls up alongside of Dale. And now Earnhardt has him a lap down again.
Yep. Now that battle between Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip, what effect did it have? Well, take a look at a Big A Auto Parts on-track interval. We timed 5 consecutive laps, 4:33 through 4:37, and the interval between Earnhardt and Martin, you can see it was exactly reduced by half. There was 1 second interval between them on lap 4:33, and on 4:37, Martin had reduced the interval to 1/2 second. And Jerry Punch has a comment on Dale Earnhardt.
Gentlemen, it's a little bit of food for thought. We've seen some drive shaft plate problems in some of the cars. In fact, 4 or 5 cars. And one of the reasons we've seen it, what I'm being told out here, is they're running a lot of camber in the rear end, about 2.5 degrees. Now, according to some of the stats that we've been able to collect up and down pit road, there were about 6 cars who began today with 2.5 degrees of camber in the rear end. Of those 6, 4 have already had problems. The 2 that have not had problems thus far but still had that much camber, the 3 car and the 26.
Another Ram field summary for you. Mark Martin has successfully passed Darrell Waltrip and put him a lap down. Here comes, there was third place Sterling Marlin. There's Derry Cope in the 10 car. There's Marlin.
So Sterling Marlin gained a great deal on that ballot as well. He's pulled away from Brett Bodine and now just 34 seconds behind Mark Martin.
In fact, Vinny is 3 seconds exactly. You can look at that and say, you know how it is.
Earnhardt now with exactly 50 laps to go in the Haynes 500. 450 are complete. Will Earnhardt win? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Professional service.
Red, blue, and white.
A friendly face.
It's a good sign.
Your Big A Pro.
Keeps your car running right.
Nice to know he uses top quality Big A parts.
Big A. The sign that keeps your car running right.
Someone to depend on when you need to depend on your car.
I want you to take the 99-minute challenge. At Penny Green, we'll be at your home within 99 minutes with a complete evaluation and estimate of your lawn guaranteed. Penny Green is the fastest, most efficient lawn care company in your area with the most complete and comprehensive granular fertilizer package available in the industry. Still unsure? Well, if you're tired of waiting around for your current lawn care company, then challenge us. Call Penny Green and compare. And within 99 minutes, you'll find out why Penny Green's the fastest. The fastest way to improve your lawn.
Introducing the latest addition to the Lucas Ford team, the 92 conversion van. Now you can take the comforts of home on the road. Check out this roomy interior with plush seating, video cassette player, choice of 6, 10, and 14-inch TVs, even stereo headphones. Conversion vans also include passenger airbags, anti-lock brakes, rear heat and air conditioning, and AM/FM cassette. Lucas Ford has hundreds of packages from the 3 top manufacturers. Join the team. Come to Lucas Ford, Route 130 North in Burlington.
There's a storm brewing on ESPN. Saturday Night Thunder. It's a night of lightning-quick action featuring live USAC midgets and sprints. Saturday Night Thunder on ESPN.
Back at Martinsville, Virginia, where Dale Earnhardt leads the Haynes 500. The sun has come out. It's been overcast all day, but now the sun is beginning to peek through the clouds. And
now, what will that do to some of the chassis out here? Because it's been overcast. We see Earnhardt's wiggling.
He's slow. He's definitely off the base.
Earnhardt is off the base.
Yes, he is dropping
and
back.
There goes Martin
takes the lead. As we have seen now 3 times this afternoon, the lead is not the place to be. Kowicki, Urban, and now Earnhardt. Jerry, what's wrong?
As I said just a minute ago, Bob, he is one of those 5 cars that had a 2.5-degree camber setting in the rear end. 3 of the 5 that already had axle problems now make it 4 out of 5. The only one left on the track and has not experienced a problem yet. The 26 car at Brett Bodine, but they are telling me here in the Goodrich pits that it looks like it's probably an axle or drive plate, and Earnhardt obviously getting slower and slower.
And he'll probably just try to ride this out, fellas, rather than come in and change it with less than 50 laps to go.
You can see the frustration on Richard Childress' face. Now, Mark Martin leads for the first time in 1992. And the nice thing about it for Mark is he only has 40 circuits around this half-mile racetrack before he puts a win on the board.
Almost identically, Dale Earnhardt and Ernie Irvin, the same spot in the cars, did almost exactly the same thing. Remember when both cars almost spun coming off that second corner? You know, what's happening now, these cars are only pulling on one wheel. That's why they're slipping and sliding and getting in. Kyle Petty's hit the wall coming off the second corner.
In just about the same spot that Davey Allison had some fire under the car.
Darrell Waltrip is racing Mark Martin, trying to get back to the caution flag first.
Come on, Kyle Petty, get out of that thing.
Martin leading, but now there is fire under the Kyle Petty car. It is still burning quite a bit. There now, Kyle sticks his head out of the mellow yellow Pontiac and begins to climb out. He's having difficulty doing something. And look at the car, just continues to burn. A lot of fire. And now Kyle successfully escapes.
That's one of the Keystone pit crewmen over there helping Kyle Petty out of the car.
That is one of Wally Dallenbach's crew members who came across the track to help Kyle Petty get out of his blazing race car.
Who is that with the red hat? Is that Jeff Bodine? That looks like Jeff Bodine with a fire extinguisher.
Well, these fellows will always come to help each other anytime they possibly can. Remember, Kyle still has steel in his leg from that accident at Talladega last year. There he is, sitting on the wall.
He appears to be okay, shaken obviously. Meanwhile, those on the lead lap are making pit stops here on the main straightaway. Only 2 pits are busy. Mark Martin and Brett Bodine, and the service.
And Brett Bodine wins the race out
because he only puts on 2 tires.
That may be smart pit strategy for Brett Bodine, the Quaker State crew, with only now 37 laps to go. You can see how still there is a little bit of fire under the mellow yellow Pontiac, and the crew's there with the firefighting equipment, but there is still blaze visible. Kyle is out of the car and appears to be okay sitting on the pit wall. We're at Martinsville, Virginia in the Haynes 500, and we'll be back after this.
Wherever dirt goes, you know it's up to no good, especially when dirt goes for your car. So when it comes to stopping dirt, more people go with Fram. Because no air filter traps more dirt than Fram. It's the #1 way to stop dirt in its tracks.
Uh-oh. Oh, no!
Oh, yeah. Fram, the end of the road for dirt.
These are test tracks for Craftsman tools. It's where we prove Craftsman can take the torture even guys like you dish out. 1,600 Craftsman hand tools, made in America, guaranteed forever.
On the first day, ESPN Home Video created Amazing Sports Bloopers 1. Pleased with the results, it then created Amazing Sports Bloopers 2. And then on the 7th day, it rested.
Just about to go back to green flag racing at Martinsville, Virginia next Sunday, live at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday, May 3rd. From Talladega Super Speedway in Alabama, it's the Winston 500 coverage here on ESPN. And ESPN fans watching this race, and it gives us an opportunity to mention and congratulate the fact that ESPN won 5 Emmy Awards this past week, one of them going to ESPN's Speed World Team for Technology Innovation. And among the other things that was saluted, the telemetry that we have on Mark Martin's car this afternoon. Mark Martin is second to Brett Bodine as the green flag comes out for the...
Bodine goes high in the turn.
Oh, mercy. And again, a leader has problems, and now Mark Martin. Could Bodine be experiencing the same problems that all those other cars have had? Remember, Jerry told us that he was the only other car that has this problem or potential problem.
He's definitely got some type of problem. And meanwhile, there's a second place car. The blue 22 is Sterling Marlin. He is now second.
Mark Martin is the leader of this race, and Sterling Marlin is running on second.
Ooh, Martin and Darrell Waltrip got together down in turn 4. Darrell backs out and let Mark go. Close moment for the leader, Mark Martin.
Darrell trying to get his lap back.
Well, gentlemen, it appears as if the Ford winning streak will continue. They're first and second.
That's why they pay me the big bucks, because I can always predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, you want to get a raise out of this deal.
We just said they'd have the best opportunity, and then they had their opportunity.
They did.
I had to run for my money, and that's all you can hope for.
Next time around, we'll have 25 laps to go. Whoops, make that completing 477.
That was not your strong suit. I can see that. Meanwhile, Mark Martin has this thing in hand. 23 laps to go if he can just keep it going.
And watch where other drivers are running in our Fram Field summary.
Brett Bodine is still out there running, but he is way off the pace. But he's still in third place. Still in the lead lap.
I do believe it's the same problem.
Yeah.
Oh, he almost goes up and hits the wall that time. He got too much speed.
Man, oh man, that car is all over the racetrack. Jerry, what's the problem?
Well, Brett's not really sure what the problem is. He said when he went into the corner on the restart, the car wouldn't turn. He said he had trouble steering. He thought he had a tire going down. Now, as you all know, if there's an actual problem, sometimes with one wheel pulling, you can't turn the car. We saw a couple of guys nearly spin. Donnie Richardson here in the Crew Quaker State pits trying to find out. They're just going to have to ride it out. They think they may have a tire going down, but then again, it could be axle. So it's with 20 laps to go, they had no choice but to try to ride it out.
Well, Dale Earnhardt has now gone a lap down. He still is in fourth place, but not for long. Darrell Waltrip just took that away. Darrell Waltrip now is in the fourth. Earnhardt is a lap down, and now Brett Bodine about to go a lap down as Mark Martin comes up on him.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see Brett Bodine and Dale Earnhardt racing for that third and fourth spot. That's slow as both those cars are going.
Yeah. Now Darrell Waltrip has moved into third as he moved around Brett Bodine. So now only two cars in the lead lap. Those of Mark Martin and Sterling Marlin.
Who is our Western Auto mechanic of the race? Steve Reel from Mark Martin's team. Congratulations, Steve. I think he was fifth in the point standings coming into this race, but he'll pick up some valuable points in the battle for the Western Auto Mechanic of the Year competition. Mark leads in the Valvoline Ford. Sterling Marlin second in the Maxwell House Ford.
This is the best run. Mark told me, as I said Friday, that they've had trouble getting around this racetrack. This is the best that he's ever been here in Martinsville. So he said, one of these days we'll win, we'll run good for 500 laps, we'll know what it takes. And I think after they leave here, they'll know what it takes.
There's second place, Sterling Marlin. You can see the distance separating first and second. Sterling running back there with Harry Gant and Alan Kulwicki.
Next time by, 15 laps to go, just 15 more. This will be a good, strong run for both these guys. Mark Martin needs a good run. Also, Sterling Marlin needs a good one.
Now, the third place car is right there behind the leader. There are only two cars on the lead lap, Martin and Marlin, and third place is Darrell Waltrip, who is right behind Mark.
One lap down.
Right. And the fourth place car.
There's Terry Labonte.
Number 94, the Sunoco. And Labonte once again with an excellent performance.
And it looks like he'll keep his streak alive of finishing in the top 10, the only driver to finish in the top 10 in every race so far this year. And I'll tell you, he's really going to gain in the points.
Yeah, he is. He was 116 points behind coming in fourth position. Allison, Gann, and Elliott will all finish well behind him.
Bill Elliott is in 10th place right now. Harry Gann is
7th. So
he's 7th.
Yeah.
So he's not going to gain that much on Gann and Elliott. But Davey Allison's guy's going to take it on the chin.
And how about Labonte will be in a Ford next Sunday, they say, at Talladega. And if that happens, then that means he will have been in 3 different makes of car in the 1992 season.
By Dale Earnhardt one more time. Meanwhile, Earnhardt has passed Brett Bodine in their race. So Earnhardt is now 5th. Brett Bodine is 6th.
But Harry Gann is coming up on him, and I believe Harry would be racing them for position. He is 2 laps behind, and both of them now are 2 laps behind, so Gann should get both of them.
Team owner Jack Roush watching to see if his driver Mark Martin can pull off his first victory of 1992.
10 laps to go. Doyle Ford gives Mark the signal. 10 more. For as a driver, that's the signal you most want to see. Those double hands. 10 laps to go. After 500 laps around this thing, it's almost over. You're right there. Harry again goes by Earnhardt to take that spot over.
Is in 5th position, 2 laps down.
Well, right now Gant's in 5th. He just passed Earnhardt, so Earnhardt's in 6th spot now.
But it does indeed keep Harry in the thick of the points battle. He was 86 behind Davey coming in, and Allison will finish somewhere around 26th in this race. He, of course, is already out, having crashed in turn number 2.
Boy, it is amazing how things have turned around in this race the last 200 laps of the race.
This has been an excellent race in terms of surprises.
Mark Martin probably no more surprises. He's probably the most surprised guy in the ballpark.
Oh, a spin to turn 4. Rick Mast creating a huge traffic jam.
They throw the caution flag. Let's see, Darrell Waltrip's going to try to beat Mark back to the line. He doesn't make it.
He didn't make it. It was close. But Darrell failed to get the lap back.
Now there's only 2 cars in the lead lap. And there's only 5 laps to go the next time by. So they're going to have a couple of laps of green flag racing. Does Mark Martin come in and pit and get a track position? Or does he let Sterling Marlin go in the back and put on 4 tires? What's going to happen, Bob?
I don't believe
Why do you ask me? No, I don't think either one of them will come in.
The second place car will. Sterling Marlin will come in. He has nothing to lose.
Yeah, okay. Let's see if Mark does.
Nope. No, he stays out. Now, Sterling will go in the back pit. See, because Martin had to make his choice.
Yeah.
Now, Sterling has nothing to lose.
Nope, they're going green. Well, next time around. 1 lap to go, so Sterling won't. Or will he? No,
I don't think so.
No.
He couldn't get back up in time to catch back up to him.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
interesting.
If it'd been one more lap, I think Sterling would have went in.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Would have been interesting to see what happened, but we are going back to green, and we will have 4 laps of green, hopefully. Mark Martin making sure the tires stay warm. And Darrell Waltrip still trying to get his lap back, hoping he will still be able to do so. Pontiac pace car heads for the pits, and here comes the green. 496 complete. We're on lap number 497. Sterling Marlin on the high side of the racetrack, outside of Darrell Waltrip and Bill Elliott.
Man, I tell you, Sterling got hung up on the outside of Darrell and just can't get by.
3 laps to go for Mark Martin.
Man, this is terrible.
Morgan Shepherd's car really smoking back in the pack. Morgan is being shown in the 7th position.
Now Darrell backs off and lets Sterling go ahead, but now he only has 2 laps. 2 laps to catch Mark Martin.
If Mark Martin holds on and wins. It'll be his 6th career NASCAR Winston Cup victory. 3rd on his short track. His last victory was the last race of 1991 at Atlanta. This will be the first time he's ever won at Martinsville, and the white flag is out. One more lap around this half-mile racetrack that has been exquisitely prepared as per usual by track owner Clay Earls. Here is Mark Martin as we ride with him with a half a lap to go. Mark Martin wins the Haynes 500.
He had his left hand out waving at the crowd. He didn't have his right hand waving to us, unfortunately. And there is a happy crew,
to say the least. Steve Meal, Jack Roush, and the boys celebrating Mark Martin's first win of the 1992 season at the Haynes 500 here at Martinsville. We'll be back to talk with him in Victory Lane after this. Stay with us.
The Suzuki Katana 600. It cranks even before you turn it on.
That game started like every other one I've played with.
11-8. 11-7.
Dad.
Yeah, whatever. She actually said yes?
He was trying for an edge.
Huh? Yeah. Same woman the rest of your life.
Trying to rattle me.
Mortgage, kids, nervous? Huh? You look nervous.
And it was working.
Kids? So, who's going to be your best man?
Now it was my turn.
I don't know. I thought maybe, you. Me? Oh, too bad. Bingo!
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it.
What do you mean you'll get back to me?
Budweiser.
I'm just kidding. You had me. I know I had you. I had you out there.
We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, we got it, we got it.
If you've got to have it, there's no better time to get it.
We got it, we got it, we got it, you got it, you got it, you got it.
The Suzuki We've Got It flexible financing. Come and get it. To demonstrate the superior color of new Kodak Gold 400 film, just open a box. It has the richest, most vivid color available in a high-speed film. New Kodak Gold 400. Fast film. True colors.
The Ford winning streak in NASCAR Winston Cup competition continues. The GM teams had a shot at it, but in the end, it was the Ford of Mark Martin that prevailed in the Haynes 500 at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. Our Speed World coverage being brought to you by Suzuki. Your Suzuki dealer has the ride that you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. And by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Well, a big celebration in Victory Lane. Here's our Kodak Gold interview. Jerry?
And a happy Jack Roush team in Victory Lane. Jack Roush standing beside his victorious driver, Mark Martin. And Mark, congratulations on an outstanding effort.
Well, it was really a great run, and I tell you what, I want to thank Goodyear for putting us on the best race tires I've ever been on. They were great today, never gave up. Car worked beautiful, and, you know, I just thank Valvoline for hanging in there with us and Folgers, and you know, we brought it home. You know, it was a good day for us. The whole team has kept their chin up through times when things weren't working like they should, and if they'd have let that, if they would have let that get them down, we wouldn't have won today. And I'm real proud of them for being that strong.
That's why you've got Mark Martin and Jack Roush and this team together, because they're all winners, even through adversity. And today, it's in Victory Lane. Bob?
And as you take a look at the final points, or rather the final standings in the race, we'll get some closing comments from Ned and Benny here. Guys, that was a great race. It had a lot of surprises, that's for sure.
Certainly a lot of surprises, and you never knew who was going to prevail.
Until the very
It didn't look like the lead was the place to be for a long time.
You definitely did not want to be in the lead, because that was a kiss of death getting up there.
There you see the final results, finishing in 31st and 32nd position, Rusty Wallace and Jeff Bodine. Quickly, the point standings in the quest for the Cup. Allison remains on top, followed by Gant, Labonte, Elliott, and Kowicki. We'll see you next Sunday at Talladega. This is Bob Jenkins from Martinsville. So long, everyone.